Welcome everyone to Shattered Lands, Shield Wardens, Session 6, where last we left off. Due to getting back to the city, partying, having a good time and everything, the party then discovers a few different tidbits of information. One was the death of Senator Costas, which they took some interest in, and were given leave to investigate that further by Theodosia McCrilly, their benefactor. Lucius also spoke to Sagranus about some of the information, some of the things that they had discovered when they were dealing with Nassos. And with that in mind, he disappeared. And when Lucius returned a couple hours later, he was in his study again with the mirror and the statue that they had seen in the basement of the Galippos estate, of the crypts of the Galippos estate out in Boltree. He gave a little bit of information on like the magical use of it, and that the writing was in Infernal. And he offered to study it a little bit more and let them know some more information as he discovered it. And with that, the party discovered that at the Costas estate, it seems to be that there was a night maid, Lucia, who helped Senator Costas with his tea and everything the night before, and she has decided to go on vacation, boarding a ship called the Rashad, taking that to a place called Ninias, which they've also discovered is a very expensive destination, being a kind of a tourist location. The ship itself, they said, like the minimum would be about 500 gold, which would be quite a sum of money for a maid to just happen to have lying around to go on vacation for fun. With that ends, Randy tapped into a contact of his that he's who was a ship captain, a Aarakocra by the name of Modia Ahela, and has contracted her to take the group to Ninias so they can further pursue Lucia and her involvement in the murder of Senator Costas. And that is pretty much where we had left off. Lucius had offered to help out aboard the ship, of which Modia had offered, just asked him to help load the ship while they waited. She had given the crew about an hour. She sent out someone to gather up what crew they could, and within an hour they were planning on shoving off. So, given that, as Lucius is loading aboard this ship, and the ship is feather on the wind, it is not a huge ship. It is 75 feet long and about 30 feet wide. So it's kind of more of a slender, sleek ship. It appears to have the main deck, the captain's quarters, and one like deck below that Lucius is currently loading on some supplies into that deck. One of the crewmen shows you to the front of the ship. In the lower deck area, there is a small bunk room with 3 sets of like double bunks, like they're hammocks that hang from the roof to like a pole, and there's 3 sets of them, so there are 3 set pairs, so there's 6 basically bunk hammocks there that you guys can kind of settle into, along with chests. It seems to be that the crew has kind of vacated this area, made room for you guys. Modia is up in the captain's quarters, kind of looking over things, making some last minute preparation, and you guys kind of manage to get settled in as you are waiting for the rest of the crew, here and there, you guys see a couple people start to appear. A rotund Loxodon kind of comes lumbering in and starts clinging around in a like kitchen area, which seems to be like across the lower hole from you guys, and starts putting together some food. As a few more crew members come in, he starts putting out food on a small table like in the lower hole. So the upper deck has a large like metal grate that they've opened up right now, and that they're utilizing the boxes that Lucius has kind of carried up and like lowering it down using this like rope, kind of like crane system. It's not big, and it kind of folds into like the main mast, but they're able to utilize that to kind of like load up the ship. And in that same room, as one of the new crew members that have arrived has started to like lash down some of these boxes along the walls of this hole. In that same room, there's a small table with like 6 chairs, and now this Loxodon is like coming out, and he's putting some food out on the table. Mostly like seems like they're like cold cuts, like just bits of meat and cheese and some bread out there, and he puts like a teapot out, and several like cups of tea out there for people, and he's kind of like singing a little bit like this kind of sailor's tune as he's walking back and forth and like prepping a meal for all these that are about to show off.
Do I recognize the tune?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, you spend plenty of time in the lower establishments that many of these sailors would, and it's kind of like a sailor work song sort of thing, but it's got a little bit of a body element, as they all tend to have something involved there. And he's like half singing it, half humming it through his snout, depending on what he's doing and what's going on. So he's kind of like singing some of the lyrics and then playing like some of the music, like trumpet notes almost through his Loxodon snout.
What's the name of the song?
Till I Dock Again. It's mainly a song about like a sailor who goes out, and each dock he gets a new woman, and it's like basically singing about like, I love you and I'll see you again. And then it's like he goes to another dock and has his woman there. I love you, I'll see you again. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Just
taking
me
a
on
note.
The
spot. Yeah, I get you.
Just remembering, it's going to be good to be able to sing a song for the guys later on. So it's good to know what their favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the only thing that's wrong is the fact that they're singing this and they're drinking tea. They're tea drinking pirates.
Well, who said they're pirates to start with?
Well, I'm just saying close enough that they're drinking tea.
Close enough.
I think having an afternoon tea before you go on a voyage is a classic life decision, to be fair.
Yeah, but they're not fancy like you.
Especially if your leave gets cut short. The one thing the cook is going to do is provide you what you might need to be awake and functional.
Looking around the ship itself, Randall doesn't want to step into anyone's private spaces. So he's leery of going into the galley or going below decks. He wants to go up to the crow's nest, but he also doesn't want to go up into another person's private spacing. So he's just going to sit up on the poop deck at the rear of the ship, if you will, and just find a space in the corner to strum his lute, doing a slight instrumental beat, creating that. So as he's hearing that shanty being played, he's hitting the chords on there, letting it accentuate rather than dominate the song that's going on.
Sounds good.
Randy's going out of his way to not be loud and in charge with this crew.
All right, there you go. There's a first for everything. shots fired right now. All right. Hendrix, is there anything in particular you'll be doing?
Hendrix will probably take a wander around the ship just to get his bearings of the place. Probably settle somewhere in earshot of Randy so he can at least listen to the tune he's playing. He'd probably have Daisy the Owl up on top of top of the sails just for the duration of the journey. Just sits up there looking out. Okay. And probably just take a back seat somewhere and just relax. Just take it easy until.
And as you guys are kind of like sitting up here, somewhere up on the poop deck, up there with like where the helm is, excuse me, you can see a couple, or two sailors kind of come up. There's a guy and a girl. They look somewhat similar, actually, like this kind of like tan skin, like kind of dirty blonde hair, similar like kind of thin build to them. Some of their facial features seem very similar. Start unfurling sail. So there's one main sail that seems to like have already been up, and it is a triangular sail like towards the front of the ship. Goes from like a main mast to like the front of the ship, and on there's a large like curved feather that kind of goes with the contour of the sail itself. And then they kind of climb up and they start unfurling a square sail that's like right up there, actually situated by the helm, on that poop deck area, and they're up there currently like getting that sail pulled down. Medea comes out, kind of glances up, seeing the sail start to like flap a little bit as it catches the bits of wind as they're finishing lowering it. She glances over to one of the crewmen. All right, it's our time. Whoever didn't make it, they not gonna make it. We'll catch them when we come back. Pull up the gangplank, let's get going. And she'll walk up to the helm. Someone cast off the lines, and it seems like she's saying things that most people know. But, you know, just she doesn't say who, but people start moving. Like, they all seem to have this, like, ballet of who's going to get things done.
Can I just look around just to check and make sure that Pios and Lucius are actually on the ship?
Yeah, for sure.
I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, give me a perception, and then we'll see how open. I mean, Lucius probably isn't hard to see, so where is Lucius have been at this point?
I think that after helping move whatever stuff, he probably would have went to like a group of them who were bunched up and just asked them, you know, what they do here for fun, and just either follow them around if they're cool with that. If not, he would just try to find something to do.
All right.
13.
Peos, what were you up to? And would you have been obvious, or would you trying to obfuscate your presence and actions?
I'm doing the sneaking, creeping thing. So,
all right,
you can give me the roll.
Sure, give a stealth roll. Let's just see if Randy spots you, and let's see what you're doing.
Okay, 25.
All right, yeah. So, Randy would have spotted Lucius at some point doing his thing, but you're not 100% sure where Peos is. Speaking of,
so Peos is sneaking and creeping, and pretty much out of all the things that we've been through and whatnot, he's checking everything to make sure there's no secret traps, no secret compartments that suddenly people will pop out and kill us in our sleep. All kinds of, he is highly suspicious of the ship. And, and just making sure of everything is A-okay.
So there's two kind of levels besides the poop deck where the helm is. There's two levels. One is the main open area with the captain's quarters on that level as well, of which Medea had been in up until the point that she's come up to call people out. And then there's a lower level where you guys are kind of situated with three pairs of hanging hammocks in that room that they've kind of got you guys set up in. There's a spiral staircase that kind of gone from that lower level to tightly corkscrew up into the next level above it. It's like an 8-foot clearance, so it's not even that big of a set of stairs, but it's just kind of curves a little bit so that it takes up as little room as possible. A crew quarter down there and a bathroom, and the kitchen, which currently has the Loxodon in there trumpeting out the final chords of this song that he's been singing. Where would you have focused on, or where you want to start, and then tell me what?
When we first got on the ship, I would probably start it on the deck itself, and then as people started hustling and bustling, that was my cue to go downstairs.
Okay.
And then I would have been checking out every place, especially our quarters and any place around that, like accessibility and stuff like that.
All right. So we're going to go for investigation checks. We'll start one for the deck and then one for the lower level. And then if there's anything else in particular you're looking for, we'll see about that.
So the deck is 11.
Okay. So the deck seems fairly straightforward, with the kind of exception that there are, it seems to be that there are a few ballistas that have been situated within secret compartments in the deck, and that they can be pulled out if necessary.
Make a note of that.
And they're fairly finely crafted, such that if you're not looking for it, you don't notice that there's a few boards that kind of layer in such a way, and that there's a tiny little crack that you found that you kind of figured out, and maybe you don't 100% probably didn't open them enough to see it, but you can kind of see through. And given their placements and their size, you guess that they're probably some sort of weaponry up there.
Yeah, definitely make a note of that.
And then you see a couple other spots where there seems to be along the rails themselves that there are various of the support pillars and stuff that have been hollowed out to allow them to hide weapons if they need to.
Okay. Interesting.
All right. For the next level down.
Yep. Nope. Rolled a 4. Right, so perfect. I was too distracted by all the weapons up top.
Yeah, that one's tough. Between trying to dodge being spotted and just, kind of being in this new environment, you're not super well versed with ship travel, ship construction.
Yeah.
So you don't really notice much there. There is, let me see. In fact, I think I forgot to put it on my diagrams of it. But there's a spot that you would notice. There's a pillar in the middle of the kind of this bottom room here near the stairs that seems to be a little hollow. As you tap on it, it seems it's more there's a facade or something that covers something in the middle.
It's got the familiar ality of upstairs.
Yeah, something strange that there's but you. Yeah. At a quick glance, you haven't been able to figure out how to break into the secrets of that particular pillar.
Okay.
So, as we go, Randy has advantage given by one of our viewers. So if you are watching us live on Twitch, you can use your Twitch points to hand out advantages, disadvantages, healing potions, and we'll probably add more things as we go. But just so you know, if you do want to join us live for any of these shows, that's a great way to kind of join us, and we are keeping track of those. So we do want to thank Chicomancer's in there now, and Sage the Forged jumping in. So it's always good to see the various users joining us and jumping along with the story. So your ship is beginning to pull off. As the lines have been cast, the sail starts to catch a bit of the wind. This kind of sleek ship is able to maneuver first away from the dock and then starts to gain some altitude, avoiding traffic, and begins to turn mostly north, a little bit of westwardly, but kind of exiting this area.
As it's leaving, can I be looking out over the back of the ship, watching my island disappear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you kind of look out, and the way the docks here tend to orientate themselves, they're orientated facing kind of west-southwest, and your ship kind of comes up and gains some altitude and slowly banks and starts to turn like northwest, and you spot the large tower of the temple itself that kind of stands as a beacon, a large kind of like light emanating from some sort of gem or crystal or something at the top of the temple, and that is the last thing that you end up seeing as you kind of move further. And as you guys get a good distance, probably like a quarter mile away from the island itself, you feel like the wind shift and change and picks up heavily, as it seems like you cross this kind of spot, and then all of a sudden your ship starts moving even faster. Medea's standing at the helm, kind of casually guiding the ship, just kind of like moving the wheel, and the ship responding to her desires of, catching various wind drafts and changing locations. Anyone else up to anything as the ship continues on, as you guys venture out?
Hendrix.
Yep.
You were on the ship with my brother, weren't you?
Say it again.
You were on the ship with my brother?
Yeah. I've met your brother. A little different to you, but it's not bad.
Yeah. He'd tell me about being on these ships and going to all these different islands. They send him around a lot, to solve issues or have conversations. But I mean, have you been on the ship before then, or since then?
Not since then. Before then, once.
Yeah?
But they saw me stowing away and then chopped me off, so I was on it for about a minute, 2 minutes. It wasn't my best moment. But no, nothing since.
Why did they catch you? I'm
not the best at hiding. I was still growing. My bones are a bit lanky. I was younger, naive.
Yeah, no, I dig it. It's nothing worse than being young and having a bone that you don't know how to fix properly.
You understand?
I've never been away from the island before. My family never let me go anywhere, like that's my spot right there, and it's gone now. And we are on a small ship, and there's nothing beneath us at all whatsoever, and that's freaking me out. So that's a thing. I just thought you should know.
Probably best to focus on the here and now surroundings than the what's past that. Keep yourself rooted.
I hear you.
You don't need to remember that it's thousands of feet and then just fog.
No,
it's just...
that's true. I'm noticing there's no lifeboats here at all, or ladders, or anything. Medea, do you have any health and safety on this ship at all?
Well, you have me.
You're very healthy. Don't get me wrong, babe. But you're not going to do anything stupid with this ship, are you?
That depends. What do you consider to be stupid?
Oh, I don't like that answer at all. Okay, I'm going to sit back down again. I'm going to pull out my silken rope. I'm going to pull out my fine clothes. I'm going to find my spare shirt. I'm going to take the time to rig a safety grip onto my rope. And I'm going to tie the rope to the back of the ship so that should something happen and I fall off, I can grab hold of the safety grip and it will drag down a little on the rope and will hold me in place.
I think Lucius was watching this whole encounter, and he'll pass by and he'll put his hand on Randall's back and he'll on his shoulder, and he'll just say, "That's very cute."
All of a sudden, Pius pops up.
Where the fuck did you come from?
You did make it on board.
Yeah, I thought we left you behind. I mean, I'm glad we didn't. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, same.
The ship is secure.
I thought he was collecting rocks.
I found their weapon stash.
She's right there, mate.
And Pius looks at you, Randall. What are you doing?
I'm making a safety harness in case I get knocked off the edge of the ship.
What about fire? You'll be attached to fire.
Yeah, but I can do something about that. I can't do something about, well, I can do something about falling down, but that only lasts for about a minute and then I carry on falling down.
So you cast it before you hit the ground and then you're good.
As I understand it, there's no ground to hit.
Water, fog.
There's ground somewhere down there below that fog.
Well, I mean, that's the theory, but no one knows. No one's come back to say there's definitely land down there. No offense, my dear. You've been on an airship for long enough to know that people talk about a lot of different stuff.
It's true. It's true.
Air spirits, giant cloud dragons, thestrals. They talk about genies that come flying along on whirlwinds of doom.
Remember what I said about being rooted? Surrounding areas.
Birds that could come flying out the sky and grab you and eat your head and then drop you off. You can have
lost course.
Flying snakes. Okay.
I'm gonna pull out a little flask of alcohol and I'm just gonna put it in his hand. There you go. That'll calm your nerves. Drink it slow, it's strong.
That
Just
doesn't
live in the moment.
help the falling off the boat part either, though, Randy.
Ah,
No, it's okay. I mean, we haven't seen the green dragon that was attacking ships for a while, so we should be all right.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
All
listen,
right.
We're not traveling any of the major lanes outside of Leitung. We should be safe.
It would be honored to fight a green dragon in the air.
it would be. Listen.
That makes one of us.
I'm fine with it. Have a fight with the green dragon in the air. As long as there's ground underneath us, I am down like a clown. This spot, right here. You guys are very relaxed. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I was just messing with you. I'm actually okay. Just want to see if you were scared, to be fair. Anyway, I'm just going to get back to making this for no reason.
If you die, we know an island that we can take you to bring you back to life. Well, unlife.
What?
You do not remember the horses?
Oh no. Yeah, I remember.
I don't
Yep.
want to know.
Continue. And then Pius just walks off after
Yeah,
that.
my father told me about that place. We're not going there.
As you guys travel, some time passes. The island itself slowly starts to disappear. And for a while, you're just amongst a series of clouds drifting in the air. then you start spotting in the distance ahead of you, kind of to the north and west, you see bits of land start to appear again as the ship kind of starts to go up, and eventually, as time passes, it goes past that island and starts to veer more westwardly as the evening begins to fall. You guys kind of see it more to I'm bad at naval directions, to the left side of the ship.
Are we able to take a long rest during this whole time period?
Yeah, if you guys are desiring to. Yeah, as it begins to be evening, you are on a boat. You have quarters there with hammocks. At some point in the evening, as the sun starts to set, Medea will kind of trade spots to a slender minotaur male who kind of takes the helm, and she will head down into the captain's quarters.
Fancy company?
Randy. I could use a drink anyways, if you want to come in and have a drink.
Hey, listen, I'm down.
Anyone else fancy a glass of something? Glances at whoever's nearby.
I would like one.
And she'll continue without really worrying too much who takes her up on that offer. Makes it into the captain's quarters and smiles as she leaves the door open and walks over to there's a round table set in the captain's quarters that she has, and there's a desk with a table, a desk with a map on it and a few two chairs in front of it, and her a large chair underneath a window, and then a large round bed lays there, and she goes and she grabs a bottle off of a shelf and brings it over to the round table and starts to pour for whoever's in there, pour a cup off of the bottle.
Noticing the boys are gone, I'll probably be like, oh, I'll come for a drink then, and I'll follow in a couple minutes behind, this is where you were, right?
Be cool, man. Be cool.
First night on the ship, don't leave me alone.
Yes, well,
nighttime spooky.
a nice little drink, I think, is always a good way to end the night.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is a nice enough version of the Dionys spirits that they make. Actually, nearby, that island that we were passing earlier, this New Sulan, that one is home to the Dionys distilleries. And she'll pick a chair underneath the window and kind of sit back and lean back and sip on her drink. So, just out of curiosity, and you don't have to answer, but what brings us to Ninias? What purpose? You don't seem like the type to pleasure cruise necessarily for the sake of just that, and you also don't seem like that you even had the money right away to be able to.
Yeah, no, we're very impulsive, us. See the opportunity to go on a ship, we're like, how much that cost? We'll work it out later.
I like your style.
I know you do. But yeah, no, this just four lads out on the islands. You know what I mean? We love going to new places. We're not worried about being on an airship at all.
I think Lucia's definitely would take offense to that when she, making us look like we're all poor and stuff. When he would look at her, he would be like, "Do you even know who I am?"
I've heard of the great Lucius and his games. Yes, I have. But yes, airship travel for first is not cheap. You guys are getting friend rates, but still 1,000 gold is not the type that most people keep lying around in their pockets or are willing to be indebted to someone for such a sum.
Can I get an insight check?
Sure.
I'm trying to work out why does she give a damn?
I mean, we're good for it.
Sorry.
You know us, we're good for it.
Oh, yes, I'm not too worried about it, to tell you the truth. I was just curious.
15?
15? Yeah. She legitimately just seems like she's making some sort of small talk for this time in here, and that was the first thing that kind of came up.
Yeah. All right. I mean, we're doing a thing. We're doing a favor for somebody, and the favor pays us out quite well, ultimately. So the money that we lose on this trip, we should be able to make back if we're successful in our venture.
Ah, fair enough. See, no issues there. It's just always curious.
Hey, listen, curiosity's only killed a cat, didn't touch a bird, so it'll be fine. I'll say this, look. You're gonna be out there waiting on us. I don't see it being an issue of danger for you. I look at the other two like, what do you reckon? I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
I mean, you guys can sit in the dock, go drink, have some fun. Doesn't sound too bad.
I mean, this island, is it a good spot? Is it a
Ninias?
pleasure?
Yes, it's a very nice place. Had my honeymoon there. It was great.
I'm sorry. You had your honeymoon there?
Yes.
This is obviously a man who you later divorced, or perhaps never even married at all.
If that makes things easy for you, yes.
No, listen. If you're Polly, that's fine. You do you. I just called an Ararokra a Polly. That's fucking hilarious.
You know what? I'll drink to that. I'll give her like a toast.
That is. And my guy's white, so he wants. Maybe she did want that cracker. Okay. Hey, you guys, we're having a good time here on Twitch.
Oh my god. Oh. Things I can't clip for things later. See, the cops are coming for you.
They always do. Okay, yeah. So we're going to Pleasure Island, and you're married. That's fine. Is your husband on the ship?
Oh no. He's too busy, too important for such things.
Can I ask a question that might be kind of offensive?
I mean, your little friend there doesn't seem to have any problems with it, so.
Is he... Well, she's a Ararokra, right?
Yeah.
Is he also...
Oh, no. No, if he were, he wouldn't have almost fallen off a ship.
Well, I will say this. I like your taste. You don't... You just go for whatever. You do whatever you want. That's cool.
Life is too short, my friend. Life is way too
And
short.
drink to that.
And
I'll pull out the half a bottle of Grimnock life potion that I took from the manor when we were there last, and pour out four drinks for everybody.
How long you had that for?
Oh, for sessions.
For at least 3 whole games.
Yeah. Half one of that. I'll just pour us out enough. I don't know how big the bottle is. I'm assuming it's enough for 4 small glasses.
Oh yeah. If you have half a bottle, you still, you'd have about 12 servings left in that bottle when you poured them. So you're about to 8 servings left.
Okay.
With it. Oh, well, very nice.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Lucian, Randall. And with that, I'll put my shot glass upside down and say, I'm going to go to bed. And I sort of like, you see my legs are a little shaky, like they're sea legs, like he's not quite used to it yet, motion sickness.
Yeah, it is a little weird, like, because it follows, instead of like the currents and waves, it follows the weird gusts of wind that you catch from time to time. So it's a big enough ship, so like not huge changes, but every now and then like the ship will tilt just a little bit and come back, or like drop a little bit or raise a little bit.
I think when Hendrix makes his excuses and leaves, I'm going to look over at Lucius and be like, well, I guess I'm going to head off as well then. I'm going to leave him alone with her.
All right.
That bastard.
I know what kind of friend Lucius is.
So, do you know if your little friend found anything as he scoured my ship?
That depends. If you have rocks in the ship, there might be missing.
I have to check for my rocks.
Yeah, he has a little fetish of rocks and goliaths and shit. I don't know, it's weird.
It seems a very strange reserved fellow, but...
Well, he is from the Badger Lodge, so... But they're good at what they do, so...
Okay. I don't tend to have too much interaction with the terrestrial lodges. Ox Lodge is an interesting group of fellows as well. You enjoy defending the city, keeper of kings, or whatever you guys call yourselves.
It's a lot better than going to war. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I may look a little cool and collected, but I hate flying in airships. Every time we went on airships, we pretty much went into war. And having to jump with a bunch of people off ships and have mages make you fall slowly before you hit the ground is kind of unnerving. You get used to it, but yeah.
I can imagine. I'm not sure how I'd feel if I couldn't fly on my own.
Well, I think it's really neat that you can. I wish I could.
Well, maybe someday. When you get enough power, you never know what could happen. Well, sir, I do need to get some sleep. So, if you don't mind, I'll see you in the morning.
Thank you for the drink, and he'll just grab the rest of it, chug it, put it upside down, and leave. Is Pius with us or no? All right.
Didn't sound like he came down. What would Pius have been up to while the rest were off? Having a
Looking out for the screen dragon.
Okay.
Scouring the open skies.
All right.
Probably at the highest point that he can climb or whatever,
Yeah. Give me
Ship.
a perception check.
Oh, I rolled the exact same thing. Okay. 23.
All right. Yeah. You stay and you are scouring the skies, trying to discern anything you can as you're traveling through. You don't spot any green dragons. You do spot off to like the south side. You kind of spot bits of an island. You see a few shapes of dark ship-like shapes traveling in a distance, some in your direction, some in the opposite direction. To the northeast side, you see the lights of a city in the distance, and another island over there. And the same thing, you see some ships. In fact, you see probably several ships that are kind of like milling about, and you spot mainly the lights from the ships more than the shapes themselves against the city. But you see the lights, and a few of them slowly moving in towards the city, and other ones slowly moving out of the city, and other ones that seem to just be kind of like waiting outside, slowly moving around.
Any of them following us?
No, I think given the rolls and everything, you don't spot anything directly that seems to be following you. If you go to the back or whatever to look, you just see pretty much darkness out behind the ship.
Yeah. Okay. Probably after I'm thoroughly satisfied with everything, then I'll eventually go back down to our room and grab a hammock and turn in for the evening.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything during the night that is desired or you guys are looking to accomplish? Or is everyone planning on a nice rest?
Yeah, I'll probably fall asleep looking through the eyes of Daisy, who's on one of the sails, till I eventually fall asleep. And then just night out, leaving Daisy up there, keeping an eye out.
All right, sounds good. Anything else? All right. So the morning will come, fairly uneventful. It seems the travel has been nice. You guys are able to make your way further on. Medea takes back over the helm in the morning. The Minotaur fellow goes down and goes down into the crew quarters. A breakfast is set up from the Loxodon. Sets up. He seems he has cooked like some scrambled eggs. You smell the scent of like thick ham that's been cooked on a skillet or something in his room, along with like bits of bread as well, and some cheeses laid out, a bit of fruit. Various crew members come and they grab like a plate and they fill it, and then they kind of like either go back to their quarters or they go up on deck and they eat up there as the sun is kind of like rising up behind them.
I'd like to see if I can get the pepper shaker.
Okay.
Yes. If there's one available and it's unattended, I'd like to pocket it.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll give that one to you. Well, we don't need to necessarily roll for it. That's cool.
Cool. That's
Do
good.
they have like a line where people get food, or do they just?
It's just like
food on
they're
the tables.
Food on the table. There's like 6 chairs that surround the table itself. In fact, I could pull you guys to.
Quick, Lucian, for all the good food is eaten. Scramble over.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he would go with Hendrix to like a table that has like a bunch of people from the ship, and just like be like, here, let's stick in here, let's see what happens. Just so add like he's like one of them and see what they say.
You're going into where?
Pretty much a table that has like a bunch of people from the ship, and there's like a spot where they can squeeze in.
Okay.
And just act like they're one of them, see what they do.
I mean, there's literally one available table that's there, and it's kind of like there's maybe one sailor that's sitting there eating. And as you kind of, the rest of the sailors, and there's not many, you've only probably seen about 5 different individuals besides Medea that are kind of like maneuvering through the ship.
Gotcha. I thought there was like a bunch of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge ship, and it does seem like they have left a few of their members behind. But yeah, you're able to sit down, and one of the 2 individuals that were unfurling the sail, the female that was working up there, is currently sitting at the table, kind of like, eating her eggs. She has a book out upon the table next to her, and she's like reading that as she's eating. This is the same table too with the food. So, yeah.
Lucius would definitely like grab a plate and just start piling eggs and sausage and bacon and everything like a big pile.
Mm-hmm. She will glance over. Hungry fellow, huh?
Got calories to burn. And he's got to do a little flex.
She smiles. Apparently you do. Well, it's...
He's gonna look over. He's gonna go. This is Hendrix, and I'm Lucius. What's your name?
I'm Sarah.
Madam.
Pleasure to meet you, Hendrix. Lucius, Sarah, and it's not the top eggs I've ever had, but we didn't leave with all of our normal supplies and provisions. So I guess Danny in there is doing his best.
I believe I've lost track of time, and do you know how long we've got left of the voyage till we get to the island?
We should be probably about halfway there. I think we'll travel tomorrow in the night, and we should be arriving in Ninias, assuming the winds are favorable, sometime in the morning after that. So,
okay.
It's tomorrow morning. We should be there.
Tomorrow morning? Sorry, I'm not in the room.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's not too bad. Could be worse.
Well, just sit back, relax, read or polish your armor or flex your muscles or whatever it is you do.
Pius appears with the bowl of fruit and whatnot up next to him. Perfect time for a green dragon attack, too.
Oh, I don't think he's around anymore.
Don't jet somebody. We don't need to be fighting no dragon or anything. I'd rather, us stay in the air.
There might be a pirate attack depending on the ship movements as well.
You don't travel much, do you, little one?
I prepare for everything.
That is not a bad philosophy on life. My brother and I tend to have similar philosophies on things.
I am Pios of the Badger tribe.
Well, hello, little badger. I'm Sarah. Welcome aboard Feather on the Wind.
Sarah, how long have you been part of the crew?
I think about 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years. Medea found us and we needed a job. She's a very nice woman.
Any adventure stories? A ship like this must have seen its fair share. As I look around.
Do a lot of easy travels. I mean, every now and then, you get the random orcs that travel down and attack ships from the Leitong, and every now and then Medea decides that we are going to go on a longer travel, or we help out with her husband's business for something. I don't know.
Who's her husband? I didn't know she was married.
Yes. He's a nice enough fellow, a little older. I don't really know what she sees in him other than perhaps, it is nice to not have to worry too much where your bread comes from. Nicholas.
That's understandable. Sorry, I didn't quite catch the name of her husband. What did you say it was?
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Hella. Yes, he
Nicholas Hella.
runs some sort of textile manufacturing system.
The name rings a bell. Struggling to put a face to a name, but I've gone in those circles once or twice. I'm sure of it. And Hendrix is proper trying to think back now. It's like, I can't remember at all. I'll plug it, it's fine. I'll ask Randall later. And
Yes.
What makes Randall?
Yeah, I just fight them, and that's it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, gentlemen, I have duties to get to. It was a pleasure. And she finishes up her last bite of eggs and folds up her book and takes the plate into the kitchen.
what was the book?
Give me a perception check.
A weird name for a book.
Yes.
I'll give him guidance.
So the sequel to the book.
Yeah, right. He'll be here all week.
15.
15. Yeah, so the book you saw was structural integrity of airships. It does not sound like the most exciting of readings, but yeah, you see as she folds it up, you see like there on the covers like etched into like the leather binding like an airship, and yeah,
Like a how-to manual, or is it?
yeah, it seems to be like perhaps more of an advanced rendition of, but yeah, definitely like a technical manual of, you know, the care and you know, maintenance of airships.
That's what you want to see on someone who's walking around an airship. How to make an airship work.
Yeah, this is well, you didn't like read the book, but it definitely appears to be like a thicker, more like in-depth version than like, you know, your standard how to operate your toaster.
I mean, I wasn't around for this.
Yeah, I mean, wherever you want to be, just let me know.
At this point, I mean, I'm just coming out of the galley and just saying hey to the Luxodon. And I'm looking around. Do I see... Generally, are they carrying around books as a whole? Or is this like the only book that's being held by anyone at all?
You've maybe seen her and maybe one other individual with some sort of book. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you would have probably seen her as she comes in to drop off her plates with the Loxodon. Like there's a tub of water in one of the corners that she, you know, puts her plate in, still holding onto that book, and then she will turn and like go across the hall to the crew quarters to stash that book and then get back to her duties.
He stashes the book.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the book.
Okay. Give me, we'll have to do some rolls. So first would be stealth if you're trying to do it without someone noticing you do it.
No, sure. That makes sense. Hold on. The stealth there.
Yeah. I mean, it's right across the hall there. You'll spot it. So what did you roll for stealth?
15.
Okay. Yeah. So you're able to kind of like get in there. You notice that there's a Minotaur sleeping in one of the last sets of bunks down here. There's a Minotaur sleeping. There are several chests that you are... well, give me a perception to see if you could have, like, as she walks in there, spot maybe where she put her stuff.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah. You definitely see that she went to this kind of like middle chest over here and stashed something in there, stashed her book in there, and then left, passing you in the hall, like as you're kind of like, you know, trying to look like you just exited the kitchen area, the galley, and yep.
I'm not going to steal the book. I'm going to take the book out. I'm going to sit down on the chest very quietly, and I'm going to spend the next couple of hours reading.
Okay. Sounds good. Give me
not very exciting, but this is working too. If I don't know a thing and it scares me, it's best to know a thing.
Yeah, for sure. Give me an intelligence check.
Sure. That is a thing that would save. I apologize. Let's try again.
That's okay.
I don't think it's going to change, to be fair. 15.
15.
I'm rolling really well. I hope we don't have a battle today.
Yeah, it's not going bad. In fact, you understand it better than maybe even you thought you would. You're able to kind of like follow along and pick up quite a bit of information. It does seem to be like assuming a lot of underlying knowledge of airships already. Like, so this was written for an advanced construction and maintenance of airships. But you do get a better idea of how they're made and how they're maintained anyways. The physical characteristics, it doesn't go into any of the magical elements that cause it to do what it does. But
that's fine.
Yeah.
Whilst I'm there, I am feeling the book, obviously. If there is a secret compartment to the actual book cover, or if there is a notes along the margin, or if there is something foisted inside the spine of the book, I would like to be able to be aware of that.
Okay, why don't you give me an investigation check?
Oh.
You spot, it's not like super well hidden, but it seems like inside the back cover there's like a little area where the leather part of the binding meets the paper of the book itself, and there's a little part where that glued area has been kind of like worked out, and inside you're able to pull out a like painting, a small painting, or more of like a sketch with a little bit of like paint on top of it, the image of two older individuals with tan skin and blonde hair, kind of like standing there in a pose, like for someone who was painted. And on the back it says, "We'll miss you. We are proud of you." Scrawled onto there.
That is fucking adorable. I'm going to very carefully keep that where it is, and put the book back in the chest, and then I am going to not investigate any more chests. Oh my god.
The temptation is real.
Like, there's a real moment where Randy's just like looking around the room going, but I wanna. But he is recognizant of the fact he's going to be spending at least another 18 hours around these people, and he wants them to stick around, and he will be then spending another 48 hours around them. It's probably not a good idea to be an asshole to them.
Sounds good.
But he'll leave, and he'll head back up.
All right. Yeah. You are able to head back up onto the deck, of which there's a few individuals kind of running around, mainly operating this like triangular sail, like adjusting it here and there as Medea will call out various orders, just to encourage them to catch the wind properly to its best extent. And you'll see Sarah is currently working on, it seems like adjusting and fixing like various lines that run along kind of the prow of the ship itself. What is everyone else up to?
You alright, lads?
I'll actually see if I'll go down to the kitchen that Loxodon and see if he needs a hand at all. I'm not good at cooking, but I'm good at chopping. I'll offer a hand if you need any veg chopped or peeled for the day.
With long sword and start slicing onions.
You know, you pull out that blood red sword. He's like, well, yes, actually. I was going to make a stew for later, if you would like. The chest over there, and he'll kind of gesture with his snout as he's currently like washing dishes. It has some onions and some carrots, and there's a bit of meat in there stashed in a salted jar. I was going to chop all that up and put it into the big pot over there, and his snout will swing, and he'll see like a shelf with like various pots and pans. There's one in particular that seems to be a very large like pot.
Okay, well, please let me help you out. And I'll pull a cutting knife out from his side and start chopping some of the veg and talking to him. So how long have you been on the crew? You seem like a vital member, I have to say.
Well, yes, any good ship has a good cook, they say. Or at least I say.
Right.
I say, yes. How long? Well, I joined the crew shortly after Medea got married, actually. Her husband was not a fan of the old idea of everyone making their own food, and so he hired me.
Medea's husband? He keeps getting mentioned. He's quite a popular person.
He's kind of like a benefactor, I guess.
Oh, really?
You tend to not be too upset with the guy who pays your bills.
So it's pretty much common knowledge then that he pays for everything around here.
I mean, Medea makes her money, for sure. She could probably support everything here, but most of those funds, I believe, goes to the family resources, and then the family pays us.
I understand.
He helped her
Makes sense.
upgrade and get the ship, this particular ship. She was just a captain for hire before that.
And now, is this her ship? Does she own this, or is this her husband's?
I mean, wife and husband own interchangeably, I suppose. But, where she doesn't mess with his textile side, he doesn't normally mess with her ship side. More than maybe ask us to transport certain, textiles places. Nice enough
pretty
fellow.
sweet.
Little clueless, but, nice enough.
Pretty sweet gig you've got here then. You
Can't
travel
say
as
I'm
much as you
complaining.
want. Somebody else picks up the tab.
For the most part, yes, actually. It's nothing I'd complain about. How about you? You seem to be traveling around and, I don't know, you all seem very well armed and armored, save for that little loud one with the bright clothing.
Well,
He's talking about
a couple of us, it's the first time properly leaving the island. And would rather be safe than sorry.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Someone keeps talking about dragons flying around, and I know it's a 1 in 1,000.
I mean, for the most part, I'm sure that was an old wives' tale, but even the reports that
would
we
make
had
somebody
heard.
nervous. Though.
Yes. It was mostly in the east. I haven't heard of anyone this far west, anyways.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
So on this, who's the oldest member of the crew? Does anyone know Captain before she was a captain of the ship?
The first mate, the Minotaur fellow you probably saw.
The night shift, I believe he does, yeah?
Yes, he tends to operate when she is needing her rest. Yes.
Interesting. Nice.
He knew her
I'll
from
continue
before.
chopping. Start crying from the onions.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
It's the onions, I promise.
Uh-huh. It's alright. It's always scary to be away from home for the first few times.
I swear it's the onions. And it pans out.
Alright, anyone else looking to accomplish anything as you guys continue your travel?
Lucia is getting kind of antsy because he just doesn't like being in ships.
Yeah.
So when you see Sarah working on something, you just kind of walk up to her and I know that I don't know exactly what you're doing, but if there's anything I can help you with, I'd be more than happy to. I like to keep it.
Oh. Well, yeah. It's very nice of you. I wouldn't ask anyone to do what I'm going to do, but there's that thick rope right there. Just make sure that one's nice and secure. And she gestures towards like a thicker, probably like 1.5 to 2 inch thick rope that seems to be kind of like a bright, like kind of red color rope.
We'll go and do whatever she tells us to do.
But then as she sees you kind of like walk over, she's on the front, like the kind of figurehead area of the prow, and then she kind of like just shifts around and like falls down off the side of the ship a little bit, and then you feel the rope kind of go taut, and then she kind of disappears from view. Just leave it.
I'm definitely gonna hold on to the rope, but I'd just be like, "Are you alright?"
Yeah, it's okay. Hear from a distance.
You need me to pull you up?
No. You'll see the blonde-haired, tan-skinned fellow that looks somewhat like Sarah, and will come over. Oh, don't worry about her. She's, I don't know, checking the bottom or something. I don't know why she doesn't do this at the dock. She seems to like to do it more when we're flying through the air.
She almost gave me a heart attack. So.
Yeah, she likes that. She really likes to mess with people. It's okay. You're Lucius, right? That you've done a lot of games and stuff, right?
Yes, and with the other hand, he'll, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jorge, Sarah's brother.
Okay, she was talking about you earlier. Yeah, I used to do a lot of the games, but now I mainly just, guard people in the city and every so often go to war. Luckily, I don't have to do that anymore.
Oh yeah, you retired or something? I didn't think they'll let you out of lodges for many reasons, unless you're like really hurt or whatever.
Well, after I did some of the games, you could say that I gained favor. So a lot of times, certain people of power request me to guard them and stuff like that. Just kind of like a fancy thing, like, oh, look what I have here. I mean, I don't mind. I get paid for it, but
you get to guard them. I see. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than going to war, so I'll take it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we served our time, and then when we found this chance, we jumped aboard, and it's been fun. I mean, luckily Sarah's skilled and manages mechanical stuff and wood stuff really well, and for that, I got to join along the crew and be just a member, but it's fun. I see new places. I never thought I'd get off the islands, honestly.
That's really awesome. If it wasn't because, all the things that I had to do in airships, like jump off of them to go to war and things like that, I'd be down for traveling, for sure.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun. I wouldn't jump off one of these.
Yeah, it's not a good time, especially before you hit that ground. Oof.
Yeah,
you hear on the other side of the deck, "Man overboard! There's someone over the edge! Quick, get them! They're not only just swinging down there! How?"
Well, fuck, because I'm holding on to a rope.
Does he mean my sister? Do you mean that girl who just jumped off?
Some Looney Tune is just hanging off the edge of the ship. Oi, do something about it, you nut bar.
Oh, that...
I wouldn't mind him.
Don't worry about it. This is my sister. She's good.
That's your sister, and you're doing nothing about it. Fucking hell.
She'll kill me if I do something about it. She's good.
I don't know, mate. It seems a bit off. Wait, miss, are you alright down there?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. She's down there for probably about 30 minutes or so, and then she starts kind of climbing back up the rope, and you can feel like the rope tension changing as she's working her way back up.
I got you. I think Lucius would just talk to her brother for a while until he gets tired of him, and then just keep holding on to the rope and just do anything else she asks him. And if she don't got anything else, then he'll ask the captain if she needs me to do any labor work. He just wants to keep busy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, there's various people that are like scrubbing the deck, and there's one individual that's kind of going around painting like the rails, like touching up on the paint from the sun damage and stuff. And if you end up desiring to help, they offer to let you like do some of the painting, since it's really like menial but not really dangerous or technical work. And if there's nothing that you guys really want to get done in particular, we can kind of move forward unless...
Oh, there is something I do want to do.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't want to take away. I just want to not make you guys like role play every moment of your travels. So it's up to you.
No. It's not necessarily a role play situation, but I do want to take a look at all the documents that we gathered from Costas's room. I'd like to try and make head or tail of it and try and create, if I can, some sense of a timeline. And try and have a clearer picture of what the hell actually happened here. Taking into account all the information that we have.
Okay.
And I ask you to give me some conclusions. That makes.
Yeah, I'd say either like an investigation or just like a straight intelligence roll. I guess that probably ends up being the same if you're not proficient in investigation. So, do like an investigation check, and then let's see.
13. Solid. But hold on. I'm gonna use my inspiration with this one.
Okay, yeah. You got the one from Chicomancer. You can drop.
That's a natural one. Okay. All right.
So 13 it is. With a 13, it seems there's a lot of stuff that you don't understand just because it's like not your realm. Like you're not your brother. You're not used to seeing all the paperwork. You don't know how they all play in together. But it seems that Senator Costas was following a thread of Senator Hella being kind of paid by individuals who had an interest in the raising of more airships. And there's a few notes jotted down there and several names jotted down there, some of which were ship manufacturers, some of which were other parts that would have been incorporated, a crystal manufacturer, like a magical crystal growing place, which we had mentioned previously. So it seems like there's that which you've kind of determined. You do see lists of potential people that he wasn't sure of, like whether they were involved or not, but ones that could possibly stand to gain. One of which more recently has come as a person of interest in your life, is one Nicolas Ahela, who is a textile manufacturer and would probably stand to gain from the sale of sails and hammocks and ropes and all the things that go into elements of his business. Now, whether it's not like a definitive, like this person has done it, but there's a list, and there's probably 2 or 3 other people that have like textile written next to it. But
is this Hella related to the senator?
No, Ahela, which would be the same as Medea's last name, Senator. Yeah, so not the senator. I know. I have too many Hellas, but it's Ahela, which is Medea's last name, and her husband Nicholas is the one that has kind of dropped in as a possible entity there. There's another note that you kind of see, and since you don't know much about the manufacture of ships, but there's a note in there that's like spellcasters ? And it's like he was trying to figure out other elements of where things were going to come from and how the power of these ships were going to be manufactured.
Right. Based on that and the advanced book that I've just read, and I've become proficient in all knowledge of ships as a result.
Yeah.
Right. Is there scope for me to realize magic ships require magic to work? Larger ships require more magic to work. Is there scope for a magician on a ship could augment that ship's magical status to a higher level?
I mean, you do understand that at least the manufacture of ships require magical users of some fashion to make, but you haven't seen anywhere, and that book definitely didn't go into any of the magic sides of things. But I mean, you would probably figure that there's no downside to having a magical user on a ship, like just depending on what their magic is geared towards, whether they have some control over weather or wind. That's obviously very useful. You also probably haven't seen anyone aboard this ship that seems to be magical in nature. At least not that you've overtly noticed anyone casting spells, and you know enough about spells and that to have an understanding. Yeah.
Okay, this is all to the good. This is basically what I'm doing with my process. I'm going to take the time to actually sit down with the others. We don't have to role play it. I just wanted to let the others know my findings, if you will, so that they are as apprised of it as I am.
For sure. Peos, are you doing anything in particular, or are you just the constant vigilant? Looking?
I think he'd be constantly on watch.
Okay. Is there anywhere in particular he would have chosen to be his?
Crow's Nest or the front of the ship.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, either one's an option. So the front of the ship is where Sarah had kind of been working and jumped off the side of the ship, essentially. There is a crow's nest that's situated above the square sail, which is up by the helm area of the ship. Either one you would have access, and no one would seem to have any issues with you taking up position at.
Sure.
With that, you guys are able to travel. This is a fairly easy travel pattern. It's the middle of, let me get back to the map of the Lei Tong and activate that one for everyone. So it is in the middle of the kind of pathways that you would have access to here. Let's see make sure the stream can see, because I didn't have the map out for that one. So if you look at, if you're looking at the main map, you guys left Tassos upon the island of Vassos. I know my naming's really original there. But you left there and exited and kind of headed up this way and have traveled through. As the morning starts to dawn, you guys are able to spot an island kind of to the southwest from you guys. And you'll spot the kind of twinkle of lights in the early morning and various fires, and you see a large tower that kind of stands on one of the outer points of this island with a large bonfire that's basically been lit atop it that marks the island. And as you guys notice this, you'll see Medea kind of at the helm, smiling and looking out, and if she sees you guys kind of out there, she'll say, we are about to arrive to Ninias. Ahead of us is Iduros, the capital and main city here on this small island.
Are we going to need documents? Or is there a dockmaster that you will actually handle the whole process with?
I can take care of all that for you if you like.
I'd rather that we were able to arrive as if we were one of the crew, rather than guests who are coming on to that end. I wonder if maybe we could borrow some clothing to better fit in with you guys. I look a bit too good.
Yes. I could try to rustle up something. I don't have any shorter individuals aboard the ship at the moment.
Actually, you know what? I have a disguise kit. That's fine.
Okay. Well, if you need to, you can use my cabin while I sail this in and get yourself set up.
Maybe the locks are
Can I
don't
leave
connect.
my armor here?
If you want to, yes. It's up to you. I mean, we'll be here, and we'll remain up to a week, I'd say, if you guys need it. After a week, I do have an engagement that I must make.
No, that's fine. We won't be that long. Big L, I think you should keep your armor on, man. We can just put like a cloak over you.
Your miniature friend, you think he would let me borrow some clothes that I can put over this? I think that would fit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Oh, thank you. Really appreciate it.
But of course, it's kind of fun to just do a sail out here, just for no business purposes whatsoever.
There's always business. You know that.
Yes, I do.
So she was offered, what was it, like 1,000 gold or something?
Yeah, I think 1,000 was the settled upon friend price that Randy is.
I was curious, since I got that wealth of 6 and I just been saving up money. Can we say that I have like half of that and I can just give it to her right now?
Sure, we could go with that.
I'd just be like, I really appreciate all your help. You're not just helping us, you're helping the capital. And just, as a show of faith that, we're not gonna cross you and we appreciate it. I'll pull out, like, I probably have 2 bags. One is just the spending money that I've been using.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I'll give her half of it.
Sounds good. Yeah, no problem. No problem. She hefts it. Well, if I knew Randy had such a wealthy friend, then I might have struck in a harder bargain.
Wish I knew I had such a wealthy friend.
I wish I knew I had such a wealthy friend.
Yeah.
Well,
We're sitting there in amazement looking at my coin.
If you come fight with me sometimes, make a lot of money doing that in the Coliseum.
Right, but we've been buying rounds.
I have bought rounds too before.
Yeah, I feel... All right, no. You're right.
You never asked me if I have money, and I have spent money too. But I gave that merchant guy money when he helped us out.
Yeah, it made me look bad.
He has been good at that, hasn't he? All right. You guys slowly kind of make your way in towards this island. As you get closer to the island, it seems like the wind kind of dies down almost all of a sudden. And she pulls up towards a dock and starts like the process. And there's some like dock workers that kind of like run over as they see the ship kind of descend into a dock position and guide them into a specific location. Catch lines. You see a city that's kind of sprawling, not too high. Like, it doesn't go very high. It doesn't, it's not very hilly. It's very kind of fairly flat and plain here. You see palm trees out. There's areas where there seems to be kind of like sand or light colored rocks. The houses and buildings here all tend to be a similar, almost like a whitewashed like plaster walls with exposed like dark brown wooden beams that you can kind of see from the outside of them. Like slate roofs, like a red kind of like clay rooftop on all these buildings. All have a fairly similar build and design to them. and you see busy dock workers kind of rushing around. There are other ships that are docked there, some far larger and nicer looking than... I mean, Feather in the Wind's a nice ship. It's put together well, but it is small and sleek, and it seems to be geared towards efficiency and speed versus, size and amenities as far as that goes. Well, boys, here we are, she says as, they tie up to the dock, and the crew starts kind of like piling down. They put down a gangplank so that it connects to the dock itself, and they start like securing the ship. The large square sail gets kind of rolled up. They start, brushing down areas, starting cleaning up things.
Do we see the boat the maid got on?
Why don't
or
we give
did we beat it here?
Perception checks? Anyone who would desire to, or...
I'm keeping an eye out on the actual dock itself for anyone who's keeping an eye on ships that are coming into the dock.
Okay. So give me a roll for that one, and let me know what you get, and that's where we'll aim your rolls for.
24.
I got a 23.
Oh, jeez, you guys. All right. Yeah. 10. The dock is busy, and you're not, while you know docks because you've been to them to party, to,
Right.
extort money from people or whatever. You don't know the operation of them well enough to actually know, who to look for. So it just seems like there's a lot of people running around. For everyone else, pretty much everyone else, because you all rolled 20 or above, you would have noticed, yes, there does seem to be a ship docked, kind of like the next dock over, that is a fine-looking ship. It's fairly large. It is bedecked with gold, bottom of the hull sort of thing. Looks like it's gold. It's got fine filigree on it, and written in kind of a fancy script is the Rashad across the front bow and across the back if you're able to see it from your angle. The sails are up up on. It's got 3 large masts to it. All of the sails have been rolled up. You can spot a series of workers that are kind of running along it that seem to be busily refitting and resupplying and getting the ship ready for its next voyage. The 23 and 24, I'd say you'd spot there's a female that is standing up by the helm, up by the poop deck, kind of calling down orders. She is in a dark suit, basically double-breasted coat, stiff kind of high collar. Her kind of graying hair kind of hanging down in a ponytail behind her, with a captain's hat sort of thing upon her head as well. And she seems to be directing the crew that is moving around and getting everything ready.
Do they seem to be...
I would definitely elbow Randall and point at her, and that's all you.
Do they seem to be unloading or loading for another trip?
It seems like they're loading up the ship, prepping for their next voyage.
Okay.
We better ask some questions before they leave.
Oh, we should definitely go and explore. Let's get over there.
Indeed.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to make your way down. It doesn't seem like there's much security up until you get to the point where you're nearing the ship itself. There does seems to be a point where there's a small half-height fence that there seems to be a burly human male, very tan skin from being out in the sun and everything, but there also seems to be, whatever his background is, just a little bit of naturally darker skin, and he's standing there obviously like built. He's got like a large sword that's strapped to his back, and he's just kind of like standing there watching as people come and go. And as you guys approach, he'll put his hand out. What business do you have here, my friend?
Before we get there, I look at the party as we're walking up. I can take him out.
Yeah, we might not need you though. I'm going to cast Charm Person on this guy as I
give
come
me
up.
the word.
Okay. What is my roll for that?
That, my friend, is a Wisdom roll, DC 14 to resist.
All right. I'm going to click on this just because I want something to roll with. Wisdom DC 14. That was a natural 15. So yeah, he shakes his head and scowls at you. Now, boy, I don't know what you're up to, but I don't take kindly to people trying to mess with me.
Oh,
Do you have business, or do I throw you over the side?
I just wanted to have a quick chat with the captain of the ship, but you know what? I think I'm just going to need to tie my shoelaces.
All right.
I forgot what that was. That was a code word for something.
Yep, I run at him with my shield, and I shield bash him.
All right. Let's roll initiative. Why not?
Hey!
You're like, we will have a fight scene.
Isn't there like people everywhere?
I'm at the back of the queue, like, what's going? Oh no!
Yeah, there are people all over the place, but you know.
I don't think that this is necessarily a fight scene, more of a friendly argy-bargy. Let's murder him. Okay, let's go.
I rolled a dirty 20 for my initiative.
7.
A 19.
So, because I wasn't prepped for this battle,
Dirty 20 for me.
Okay, who's next?
A 19.
After 19.
16.
16. And what was yours, Lucius?
7.
Hendrix. All right, Peos, you get to go first.
Okay, I'm going to slice at his legs with my short sword.
Okay.
And then for my bonus section, I'm going to pretty much try to... How close are we at the edge?
I mean, he's standing like in the middle of a 20-foot dock,
20
so
foot, okay.
you're probably about 10 feet in.
Okay, as I run up with him, I'm gonna kind of do a back thing on his legs, and then when I shove, I'm gonna shove his back and shove him into my party.
Okay.
Is the goal.
Okay.
So away from where so
Yeah.
okay. So my attack is 17.
Okay. 17 should hit.
And do I get to my sneak attack?
No, because I mean he sees you running forward, and your party isn't quite there yet. They're
Okay, so
a little bit back.
Yep, I do 4 points of damage, and then it says for my shield shove, if you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to try to shove a creature within 5 feet of you with your shield.
Yep.
I'd make an attack action, right?
A shove would be
like grapple.
yeah, it's a strength, like contested strength check.
And it was athletic.
Oh, it is. Well,
Yeah.
so athletics.
Yeah, it would be athletics.
Okay.
Okay.
It almost rolled a 16.
But
nope.
Counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. You know what? Let's do this here because, like I said, I wasn't expecting you to start a fight with these guys. All right, let me roll here.
Is it his turn?
Well, I mean, so how much damage did you do in your attack?
4.
4 points. Okay. And then he rolled like crap. What did you roll for your athletics? Again?
I bet he rolled above me.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 5.
Only because he has modifiers to strength did he roll better than you. He rolled a 5 too, but he does have a modifier in strength. So therefore, yeah, he scowls at you, looks at you, turns around as he pulls out this great sword and brings it down at you. 23 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay.
And as I've got a reaction thing. Can I use my reaction?
Yeah.
So I am using Uncanny Dodge to half the attack.
Okay. So you will only take 6 points of slashing damage as the great sword comes down and slashes across you. You're able to kind of like dodge back, and just the tip of it kind of like cuts along your shoulder area. Bit of blood forming there as it seems to almost ignore your armor. And then he's going to shift around so that he's back on his side of it and call out, "Guards! Guards!" But yet they have not fully reacted yet, so it is Randy's turn.
I'm going to charm person.
Okay. I think this is he has advantage on it since you're already...
Yeah, that's right.
But he rolled like crap, so this time he will fail. So rolled a 10 and a 9, and his wisdom is not that great.
Okay. Be like, oh, come down, mate. We're best friends, aren't we?
He takes a deep breath and like looks at you and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you, my friend. It's okay, everyone. It's okay. This one's okay."
Oh, this one. He doesn't even recognize us. You go away for one long trip, you can't even recognize his own brother. How rude is that? Oh. I mean, obviously not brother by blood, but still. I'm all right. Brother in every other sense, eh?
Yes, brother. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. That's a nice ship up there, isn't it?
The Rashad, yes, it's a very good ship.
We're going to go up there real quick. Is that all right?
Oh, yeah. You want me to announce you?
No. We're doing a little bit of an inspection to decide whether or not we want to buy it, but shh. If no one coming, they'll let us only see the good stuff, you know what I mean?
All right. Very nice. All right.
Listen, quick. Have you seen them bring anyone off the ship?
Well, I mean, yes, the ship is always people on, off.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a girl. Talking about a girl.
Oh, yes. There is a very beautiful one, blonde hair. She is wearing a nice blue dress. She's with another very fancy gentleman.
Oh yeah.
Yes, very nice.
This is our lady, isn't it? This is.
The description does not match Lucia's.
Lucia was a dark-haired girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen a dark-haired girl at all?
Oh, yes, she's okay, I guess. I mean, I just... Yes.
She followed behind.
She was, she went into the city, yes, I believe so, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
How long ago did that happen? Do you know?
Well, let's see, they left. I got here, I think yesterday they got here.
So they're probably staying at one of the taverns, aren't they?
Oh, yes, I'm sure they are. I'm sure. Very nice. Very nice places to stay here in Ninias. I'm sure you don't need to know that, my friend. You know all the great places, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's right. I know everything. Okay, listen, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to need you to do me a big favor, yeah? Because my mum's coming into town and I haven't brought her a cake. So can you go in marketplace, grab a quick one and bring it back to the dockside? I'll pick it up when you come back along. Is that all right?
Cake for your mum.
Is that all right? Do you mind?
No, not for a friend, but someone needs to make sure. No, I will get a friend to guard. No. I don't want to. You are busy. You buy ship.
Listen, for you, I'll do this. You do me a favor, I'll do you a favor. All right? You can tell you what. If you feel bad about it, you can just give me some money, and you can charge. I can charge you for the hour. How's that? Like 20 gold pieces. What have you got in your pocket just now?
I sent some. No worry. I don't have money on me right
now. No. Don't worry about it. No. It's okay. I'll stay here. It's fine.
Speaking of, I don't have money on me right now. I can't buy cake without money. You have a good cake, like 4 gold maybe. If you're really good cake, or if you don't really care for your mom, I know a place gold. I can get the nice cake that looks good and a little dry.
Get a cake with all the trimmings. Don't worry about it. My accountant will settle up with you. And I give Lucius a long look like, pay the man.
Just to be nice, I'll give him 6 gold instead of the 4. I'll keep the change.
There you go. Appreciate you, man. There you go. Off you go.
All right. And he walks off, and you do see him stop near a group of guards and, talk to them for a moment. And then one of them, heads over towards, starts walking down towards the railings.
Should we
run now?
next time on the ship, or do we want to just do one?
I think since we know where she is, we should look for her and get out of here before he comes to his senses.
Yeah, probably head into town.
Yeah, 3 people we're looking for. Dapper man, and I think we all know who that is. The blonde woman, that's an interesting one. And the brown-haired girl's the one we're looking for. Let's go.
All right, so you guys are heading to the ship or into town?
Into town,
All right.
I would imagine, right?
Yeah. As we were walking in, was there any advertisements for taverns at all?
There's probably a series of poster boards that are a whole bunch of different taverns. Taverns, hotels, of various levels of quality or skill, of nicety. There's one with a large higher tower looking there's a painting of it, which seems to be made of the similar it's white, but instead of the whitewashed plaster that most of the other ones seem to be, it seems to be kind of marble with a gold filigree, and that is the Glorious Ascent. You see another one that seems to be more of a little bit more of I'd say a Caribbean style, relaxed, more of a party atmosphere looking one called Melange's Respite. You'd see a few for various other little ones. There's the King's Rest is another kind of middle level tavern in there. It just depends on what you guys are looking for, I guess.
If I'm a guy and I've got 2 girls who I'm taking along, I want to show them a really nice place. I think that first spot's the spot they're going to go to. That second one is definitely where we should spend the night, though. I won't even lie. That third one looks like the kind of place that Lucius would hang out at.
The judgment one.
Yeah. So you're able, the posters give a basic description of the roads, and it seems like there is a main road that leads from the docks into the island itself, that many of the bigger, nicer buildings seem to be built off of. And if you guys are heading in to look for these locations, most of them are all basically advertised that they're off the main road. But there's you get to kind of the central area of town, and there's a large area in the middle that seems to be a green kind of park that seems to be kept nice and green and beautiful. A bunch of palm trees and areas for people to hang out in a large square area, probably just 100-foot sort of central commons grass area. And one side you see a 4-story tall building made of marble and with gold filigree, and you see the large sign that says the Glorious Ascent, and the top of it is kind of coated with a golden filigree to the top of it, so it almost looks like the sun is up there, or that there's light shining down from the different rays as the morning comes up. And give me perception checks to anyone who's kind of trying to take in further details of the area.
Perception. 24.
Fucking
17.
6.
Okay. As you head towards, we're heading towards the Glorious Ascent, right?
yeah.
As you're heading towards the Glorious Ascent, before you get there, you actually see Melange's Respite, and it's like this sprawling 2-story kind of structural area because it's sprawling. Like, so there's the main facade there, and there seems to be a balcony up front, and it's the whitewash with the wood beams. You can hear the faint sound of like an instrumental music kind of drifting out from there. You hear laughter, and as you look up, you see a familiar, well-kept individual, like tightly trimmed, dark beard, ponytail pulled back. He's leaned back like in a chair next to, like, there's a balcony on that second level there, and there's like a wrought iron railing that kind of goes around that like keeps people from falling back. He's sitting up there at a table. There's other tables up there with other individuals. There is a female sitting at the table with him, and he's kicked back. He's got on like he's wearing white pants, a loose fitting shirt, and you can kind of see with your 24 that there's like this embroidered into the pants and into the shirt, like down the sides of the pants and along the like collars and sides of the shirts, like roses in this like golden patterns embroidered onto it. And he's like leaning back, and he's got in his hand like a nice like silver goblet of something, and he's like kind of swirling around, talking and laughing with the woman that's at the table with him.
This is the muck with the mouth, isn't it?
Yes.
I'll point him out to everybody else that didn't quite notice him.
What's his name?
Marcus.
Marcus.
Let me know when we need to take him out.
Wait, so they're on the ground floor, yeah?
He's on the second floor. There's the main entrance to the building is down below, but right above it is like an overhang with a balcony that's like out there. And there seems to be tables up there where people are like eating and drinking up there. And he's up there kind of
not having a good time.
Just having a great time.
Want me to throw him off the balcony?
Well, I mean, yeah. So, can we? I'm gonna go through. Looking. I'm gonna go in.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna look to go up and then come out to where the balcony is, and just come straight at him directly.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah,
I'm going with him because I asked him if he wanted me to throw him off the balcony, and he said yes, so that's what I'm gonna do.
I'll be waiting at the bottom of the balcony.
Yeah, we'll bring him down to you.
Okay.
Quick. Piles?
What you up to, Piles?
I've already said, are we taking him out?
I mean, yeah, very much so.
Very well then. So he is on a balcony. Is there any other exits that I can see?
I mean, from there, you see the balcony. There seems to be it's an open area that goes into the building itself from there. There doesn't seem to be any stairwells or any other access to the balcony other than from somewhere within the building.
Okay. Can I climb up the balcony?
You can certainly try, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just go straight up.
Okay. So, two of you are going into the building itself.
Yeah.
Piles is going to climb up, and Hendrix, you're hanging out down at the bottom.
I'm just down there, just keeping eye contact with him.
All right.
So if I see anything going wrong, I can just like, hey, and make sure he looks at me.
All
As
right.
we go up, I'm gonna look at Randall, and it's just gonna be do we want a code word for me throwing him off, or
Just throw him off.
okay? I thought you wanted to talk to him first, but hey, that's fine.
Absolutely not. This guy stole my style, and now he's caused the murder of a good senator. This guy is absolutely a bad dude.
Okay, well, in that case, as we're going up, I'm gonna cast Bless on us two and Mr. Hendricks.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to look over at Lucius and I go, you are looking beefy today, though, for real. I'm going to give him Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
Like, what have you been working out there? Is that lats? Something. You look great, mate.
It was all that cargo work I was doing in the ship.
Well,
All right.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna pretty much try to find handholds and things, and I'm gonna do the whole hop, skip, jump, flip, rotate, whatever. And I'd like to use my acrobatics to get up on the balcony. Parkour.
Okay.
Ooh, parkour. Acrobatics is a little bit better than my
Yeah, no problem.
athletics.
Go ahead and make that. Yeah.
Okay.
Holding my action in case I feel that a distraction is
but-
needed.
Well, I rolled a 10. So
All right. Sadly, like the way it's set up is not really like your jump didn't quite make the spot where you want to make. And maybe if you were a little taller or something, you'd be able to grab hold. But you just weren't able to manage to make that fully stick. So
You called you short, man.
yeah, I did.
Low.
you're half the man I thought you were.
So you're not able to like make it up from the outside, but meanwhile, Randall and Lucius, you go in. As you walk in, there is like a reception area that's kind of like along one wall there. There's large doors that seem to be like swung open and opens out to a courtyard that you can kind of see. There's a lot of chairs and tables that are strewn around this courtyard area. There's a central fountain that seems to be like consistently flowing, a nice gentle trickle of water out through this fountain, spraying up and landing back in a pool. You hear the sounds of a band playing some sort of instrumental music as you walk into. Are we going into the courtyard area, or are you looking for other paths? Or
What's the most direct way to where he would be?
I'd say just based on the pathways or whatever, as you go in, you can kind of spot that there seems to be a stairwell within the courtyard area that goes up to the second level, and that would probably be your most obvious route.
Okay, I'd like to go up those stairs with Lucius behind me.
Okay.
One question, but can I guidance myself real quick, or is that too much?
No, I mean, you can guidance yourself. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll do that right before we get to him. I just like touch myself and like glow a little.
Okay.
That doesn't matter, dude.
That didn't sound right. I know. I'm sorry.
When I think about you, I glow a little.
So as we go up the stairs, is there?
What was that? Sorry.
There's no one leading us at all as we go up the stairs.
No, I mean, as you walk in, there's like a bar in there. There's a band playing. There's several waiters that are kind of like wandering around. In fact, someone, as you guys kind of like walk into the courtyard, you see like a man dressed in like dark pants, but a very like loose fitting, almost like, you know, what'd you think of like a pirate looking shirt sort of thing. So it's like walking around and goes, we'll be right with you. Wherever you want a seat, we'll find you and we'll get you some drinks.
Okay. I'm going to blow my horn, thinking of... What's his name again? I'm so sorry.
Marco?
Marcus. So I'm going to be thinking of Marcus. I'm going to sing. I'm going to play a tune. I'd like it to be the tune that I was playing during the duel, where his pants fell down. I'd like that to be in his head.
Okay.
That's next, maybe for a good minute before I see him.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And I'd like to start shouting from about halfway up the stairwell. And I'd like to start shouting out as loudly as possible. Abe Froman? Abe Froman! Where are you, you sausage king bastard? Abe Froman, where are ya? Where are ya, you scurvy dog? You never paid your debts. I'd like to get louder and louder, hopefully getting to a point where like even the band are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'd like to get to a stage where I can have line of sight to this guy, and I'm going to push behind me, Lucius. I'm going to like push back on him and then push him slightly off to the right, hoping he gets the idea to just take a more circuitous route, if it will. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Like a little beer off, come around,
little hook, a button hook, if you will. Run a little play there. So as I want to be in a position where I see him line of sight. How far away are we when I have first line of sight on him?
So you go up these set of stairs, and then you're able to like walk along the railing. Like there's like a large area though. There's like a railing, and there's a bunch of chairs around there, and there's like a pathway that goes in between two sets of tables. Like there's tables staggered on the inside and then some along the railing that's kind of overhang. The central courtyard is open aired itself, but like the top floor there's an overhang that kind of covers these seats on here, and you're able to kind of like walk around the railing towards the front of the building again, and you get there and there's about probably 40 feet between the table that he's sitting at and where you guys are at.
I see him and I point right at him. I go, Abe Froman, yes, scumbag who doesn't pay his debts. You owe over 250 gold pieces to the septic tank, the best bordello in the whole of Mertras. You owe money for furry endeavors. You owe money for having sex with squirting. You owe money for bondage and payment. You owe so much. And I'm saying this as I'm getting closer and closer to him, pointing right at him the entire way through. Is there any kind of reaction from him in any way, shape, or form?
He is leaning back, and he's got this like smirk on his face as he kind of like leans back. He still has the goblet in one hand, but he does reach and put his hand loosely on a rapier that seems to be hanging down from his side.
All right, I'm gonna say to him, listen, making payments is a must. If you don't, you'll be a bust, as you will face my mighty gust. And I'm going to do a little bit of a gust cantrip at him as he's got his leaning back on his chair to knock him. Now, gust normally wouldn't do any kind of movement against any kind of creature or thing. But if he's leaning on his chair...
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's a pretty good roll. I just did a strength save just to see, and he rolled a 17. So he feels it blow past him, but he is a fairly adept and skilled individual, and he's able to kind of like keep himself, and he looks like it doesn't bother him. Come, my friends, come join me. There's plenty of room at the table, and you see there's like a bottle of wine that's sitting out. It's been like decanted, so it's in like this glass bottle. He's got like a charcuterie board spread out in front of him, like a bowl of fruit. He's sitting there talking with a woman of darker skin, kind of looks like she is perhaps more native to this particular island. So she's she's in like a light dress. It's like a light blue color. She's sitting there. She's kind of like looking very confused as he seems to just be like, come, my friends, you want to invite your others up? You've got the scowling one down there and the little one who's trying to jump at the wall.
Would I had a chance while he's like talking all this smack to him to just get him right next to him and throw him? Just want to grab him and...
I mean, you can give a stealth check if you would like.
I was gonna say, with all the commotions, is there any chance I would get advantage or not?
No, not really. He is. Okay. He was alerted to something going on by a horn blasting in his head, and so he was definitely.
Yeah, that's a 10. So
yeah.
I mean, regardless, I'm gonna grab him and toss him. So.
As you get closer, he will glance at you and say, "Now, my friend, There's no need for being hasty or angry. You may sit down and join us. Or we can have fun here, and I will call some more. There'll be guards, I'm sure will come. They don't take kindly to people messing with someone who spends good coin at their establishment.
I'm going to roll a quick insight to see how full of shit this guy is.
Okay.
I got rope in my backpack. I was going to pull it out and use it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
15.
So how are you using the rope? Like, how are you getting it up?
Is there a place that I can like lasso or anything like that? I do have, I can tie my dagger to it to make like a grappling thing go on if need be.
Yeah, I'll give you a chance. There is like a large like flower pot or something that's like hanging at the edge of the balcony area, like at the corner point of the balcony. There's 2 flower pots there. So why don't you give me just a strength or a straight dexterity roll to see if you can get the lasso over. Randy, he seems to be very calm and composed. He's not too threatened at the moment by your guys' actions. He feels that, where he is and what's going on, he would rather just have a conversation.
Apparently 10 is my magic number today.
It's very high, and to get it over the leaves, like it gets up and it gets like on a leaf, but it's just a leaf and it has no ability to purchase. And as you like kind of grab to test if it got like, it just breaks that leaf off and it falls down on you.
Okay.
So
I will try again.
Shall we talk, or shall we laugh at your friend who's trying to throw a rope up here? It is a little humorous.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to lean over the balcony and be like, black and white, red all over. Come on, my friend. Come on over. I'm going to throw a bardic inspiration into us and wave him up.
And I will buy the drinks. It is fine. You do not have to pay for a thing for it, at least right now.
Yeah, all right. Who's your friend?
This, my friends, is Angelica. She's a very nice woman. She lives here on the island, actually. We got to know each other earlier, and we are spending some time enjoying a good little snack for the morning.
You're right there, Angelica. You seem like you're a very nice young lady.
She smiles and nods. I'm very confused. Marco, what's going on, Mr. Torino? Oh, do not worry yourself, dear. Would you like to maybe go? I'll meet you by the lake later. That spot you were talking about, Or would you like her to stay? I know you have a thing. You look like a ladies' man. I like your style. It's very good.
No, I like anything that is aware. Angelica, you can go. It's fine. I'll talk to you in a bit. You look very nice. I like your dress. Bye now.
Thank you. And she gets up and scurries away as quickly as she
Lucia's gonna look at Randall and give him like a look to wait for exit. No, like are we still doing this or not? Type thing.
I'm going to sit down at the table. I'm going to look at Lucius to suggesting he does the same. I'm going to look out over the balcony to where Hendrix is, and I'm going to be like,
yeah, I'm going to
I sit down there.
out Daisy, and ask her to follow that woman. Just keep an eye on the date. See if she goes, let's say, home or straight to a guard, just so I know what sort of situation we're in. And then I'm just going to keep an eye on the road down here.
And thank you to Neon Angel, who subscribed using our Amazon Prime here. Or he, I don't know. I guess I saw Angel and I assumed it was a girl. It doesn't matter either way. Thank you for subscribing here on Twitch. If anyone has an Amazon Prime sub and want to toss it our way, it's always appreciated.
you have illuminated our event, Neon Angel.
Yeah. So, anyway, so you're coming up? Everyone coming up? Joining?
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just wrap up my rope and just come on up and be prepared for anything, as Randall gave me a special little tidbit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Little something. All right.
So, what can I do for you, my friends? There are some glasses here on the table. Help yourself. It is a very nice wine. It's a little sweet. It's morning. I like the sweeter in the morning. At night, I tend to be a little more robust. It is a nice, light, sweet red wine.
Thanks very much. I'm not really much of a drinker, you know. Sorry about that before. But we were told that you had been a pretty naughty boy.
Me?
Yeah.
I am wounded.
Well, listen. We've been asked to follow up on some hippogriff wranglers.
Hippogriffs.
Yeah.
I've not ever ridden a hippogriff.
Well, for some reason, the Galapagos estate has us saying that you are to be pulled in for questioning.
Very interesting. Give me a deception check.
I am going to re-roll that.
Ruh-roh.
And as I do, there's going to be a moment in my head, which I've had before one time, and it really is jarring in my head. Like I could practically feel it behind my eyeball as that goes off again. I'm going to roll that. That's a 22.
Okay.
And I feel the sensation that it was about to go horrendously wrong, but something didn't.
You know, it's great for them to want someone to come, but I believe I'm out of their jurisdiction. Plus, I have done nothing wrong, and I'm here on vacation. So, unless you would like to, currently reimburse me for my entire travels, and plus pay my normal expenses of time, I think I will stay here for a little while, and maybe I'll swing back by on my way out.
Hold on. I'm a bit confused. You have to excuse me. I'm not really very knowledgeable about political situations, but did it within the hands of late. What happens inside one section happens within all sections, no?
I mean, I am the foreigner, yes, but each island is ruled by their own king, and the king here seems to, be a friend. And so I think he'd be less excited about me going on some journey to some silly, insignificant little charges. He's probably more likely to send an emissary to wherever it is. Oh, yes, you guys were over in that island I was just at. Tassos, the capital there with the Glypos, yes. Probably more likely to send someone there to smooth things over for me than to let me be taken against my will.
It's interesting. Will make a lot of sense. It's weird they sent us out here. It's almost as if they don't really care about the actual political ramifications of us being here.
It's a little strange, it is, indeed, yes. But is there something I can help you with? I feel bad. You came all this way. I mean, I can't, I have given you a sword, apparently. A nice look on you, by the way, Mr. Swordman.
I'm downstairs in the street.
Oh, yeah. Right. He'll call over the edge of the railing there.
I was hoping he had noticed. Damn.
It's okay.
He hadn't noticed either, to be fair.
It's a very distinct look to it, yes. The filigree and everything. I have others. That was my show blade, but it's okay. Has he had fun with it? Has it done good work for him yet?
It's fine. Listen, mate, you're very relaxed. I understand why, because you feel like you can't get anything done to you just now. Here in public, you're surrounded by your mates, you're friends with the king. But you're 60 foot up. Can you fly?
Oh, I don't fly, no. Not on my own merit, that is, But if you can have your big friend throw me down, and then it's just me and the swordman down there. We can see how well he can handle that blade.
Yeah.
All the while waiting while people come to join us. Or you could jump to whatever it is you really came here for, and we can advance. I'm very relaxed. It's been a nice day here. I was hoping for a little longer before I had to deal with any issues or business. Just enjoying the stay on this beautiful island.
Okay. I'd like to cast Charm Person at this point.
All right.
Because we've had a nice relaxing conversation.
Yeah.
I sat down. He seems very relaxed. Can I get a wisdom saving throw from him, please?
So I'm gonna get ready too, because I noticed him cast that on the guy in the docks. And if this doesn't work, I'm definitely tossing his sword about him.
Yeah, that was a 19 for his save.
Maneuvering.
Well, about that 19, can I please have him re-roll that?
Uh-oh.
And that one causes me a lot of pain.
15 this time. Now, with your use of that,
Yeah.
what is it that I get?
You know exactly what you get to do.
Let's do the things that we...
After you do the thing, just so then you know, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna say, you know what, I want to test the steering, and I'm gonna grab him and toss his ass.
Yeah, let's roll on that table.
Lucius, as you stand up and you say this, you and Pios may or may not notice the fact that I am head down on the table, as if I've got a massive pain coming, crushing me, pushing me down.
Yeah, so why don't you roll, was it a D100, I believe?
25.
25. All right. Good news, bad news. So your head's down and you feel a splitting headache, and everything seems weird. Your perception, your reality seems to almost shift for a moment. And if you look up, you now have a large eye that has appeared on the center of your forehead. You will get advantage on wisdom checks. But yeah.
You got a fucking third eye.
You got a third eye. Yeah.
That's messed up. Cool pulling you in the name of Yakima Fuji.
That's an interesting growth there. So you're gonna try to grapple this guy, Lucius, or
Yeah, I'm gonna shove him forward.
okay. Go ahead and make your check.
Remember, you got a bardic inspiration.
I got all kinds of shit. Not bad. That's 25.
Was that straight? Is that contested strength, or do they get acrobatics?
Yeah, that's contested athletics. And just in case, I'm gonna roll the guidance and the bless. So that's extra 5. So that's 30.
Okay. Yeah, that will do. Yeah, you're able to shove him off the edge there.
If he's not off the balcony yet, I will go up to him and accent search and do it again.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm cool with it. Yeah, you can push him off. He goes kind of tumbling back. The chalice falls to the ground there, and he goes flipping over the edge of the balcony. Hendrix.
Then I'm going to grab his bottle of wine and take a swig.
Hendrix, you see Marco falling, and at first he's like falling backward, and then he's able to kind of like remaneuver himself, and he kicks off one of the support pillars and like launches out a little bit, and he lands near you, pulling his sword, aiming it at you. I thought we came for a nice talk, and this is how I am dealt with. Am I going to have problems? And he looks up and then back at you.
You're the one who's drawn your sword, and I draw his sword, I guess.
This, yeah. The particular sword he has is just like a very nice looking sword. It has a blue kind of hilt with silver filigree. Again, a rapier like the one you're wielding, but different. You know, very shiny, well crafted, well wrought. And he smiles. If you want to, but you know, I'd rather a fair fight. This does not seem so fair. Are we fighting, or are we just moving on?
We've come this far. I kind of feel we need to test some steel.
All right. Your friends stay back?
Before answering, I will just take a joust at him.
All right, go for it.
Take the attack.
Yeah.
I'll chuck in a booming blade onto that as well.
All right.
So
sounds good.
For a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Okay, so it's this 13 damage plus another D8.
Okay.
Another 5, so 18 total.
Okay, nice. 18 points of damage. And he's the booming blade, it just happens, right? And then if he moves,
yes,
he takes more
damage, and if
damage.
he moves on his own, he takes more damage. Yeah. And then I will bonus action disengage, taking a step back, and just raising my sword ready for him.
He
I'd
smiles
like to say, "Come on."
and nods at you, kind of like, okay, that's fun. Let's do it. And he's going to whip out his blades there. He's going to step forward and go to make an attack. That would be a 19, followed by a second strike for 25.
Both hit.
Okay.
I'll roll that damage for when he moved forwards.
Yeah. So total for both of those attacks are 25 points of damage.
Okay.
How you doing?
Then his
Half.
his free hand comes swinging around and 17 to hit.
17 misses.
Okay, and he'll
On that, I'll use a battle maneuver and repulse it.
Okay.
Don't forget that you got bless. That's a d6 to your hidden save checks or whatnot.
D4, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm about d4. I thought it was a d6.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, Shadow Soldier PR gave you advantage
Of course he did.
whenever you need it.
The dirty man.
Oh, then I will take it now.
All right, use it.
I can't just click it. Okay. Attack. On D4. Keyboard is not turned on, that's why. On D4. 24 to hit
Okay, 24 will hit.
for another 10 damage.
All right.
That's 6 seconds, right?
It's still his turn, but then it will be because that was part of his reaction. So then he is going to dart back, disengaging away from you, and dart back 60 feet away from you.
He's going to dart back 60 feet.
Yep.
Okay, so disengages as an action or a bonus action, then uses whatever he's got left to sprint away.
I said Pius wants to tie off his rope and repel.
I got
No.
you. Jump. Just
So
jump.
that was us, and I think you guys can do however you want in whatever order you guys feel like.
I'm gonna grab Randall and I'm gonna jump off the balcony.
All right. So you jump off the balcony. Do you have anything that reduces fall damage or?
I do not, but hopefully he does. But I got a 20 on my athletics roll.
Okay, as he grabs me and we're falling, can I grab hold of Pios by the scruff of his coat and pull him over at the same time?
You can give me an athletics check and see if you are able to pull Pios over.
Sure.
Forget I got advantage.
No, I can't.
Okay. That seemed like something that wasn't overly Randall's ability to pull off anyways.
No, that's fair. Randall cast as a reaction as we're falling Featherfall to all three of us. The timing of the way that it's done will mean that Piles will be fine with it, but because we're falling from the second floor, the Featherfall will really only kick in maybe a foot before we hit the ground.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
And how far is this guy from us?
He's probably 50 or 60 feet from the edge there, depending on which way, Yeah.
Could I firebolt him, or do you want like initiative rolls?
No, I'm gonna kind of just. I'm figured he's gone, Hendrix is gone, then the three of you can go right now. So, however order you guys want to do it, you jumped off.
I'll let them two act because I grabbed them and jumped off. So
Yeah.
it's only fair.
Yeah. So then it's probably if Randy or Piles have any actions, then we'd be back to them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going to just move once I hit the ground.
Okay.
So, and he's already moved 60 feet.
Yep. He's a quick
So
one.
I'm gonna use my action to move 25 feet, then my bonus action to move another 25 feet.
Okay. So you move 50 feet. Randy.
See if I've got anything else.
Okay. Well, while you double check that, let's see what Randy wants to do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We're across the way from the other hotel.
Yeah. So it's almost like the building that you guys are here, and the other one's like next door, basically, like along the path there. It's next door, and then he's kind of darted back into like the green area of this like central square in the middle of the city, and there's definitely people looking at what's going on, and it seems like they are starting to respond.
I forgot you need to take another D8 from my repose. It's okay if I just roll it now.
Yeah, please.
He's more than 60 feet away.
4 damage.
He's probably just about at 60 feet, like as you land, somewhere right about there.
I'm going to cast Hold Person on him.
Okay.
Can I get a wisdom check from him? 14 is the DC.
Ooh, I'm rolling well. That was an 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then he went through that. And as the bonus action, I will turn around to Hendrix and go, sorry, that's my fault. I didn't really have a good plan. We need to find this woman more than we need to kill this man.
Okay.
So I'm going to start moving into the hotel across the way.
Okay. You start heading that direction. Hendrix, what is it that you would probably be up next since you initiated the combat?
A little bit torn. I see Pius right next to him, and I'm like, I run after. I use my bonus action to dash and make up the distance, and take an attack on this guy while Pius is next to it, and I'm going to pump in a trip attack if it hits as well.
Okay.
As well as it being a booming blade, so if it continues running. Plus a D4 for bless. 26 to hit.
Jesus. Yeah, that'll hit. He's got a good armor, but that will do it.
Okay, so I get this plus sneak attack, which is another D6 because Pius is next to us. So we got 12 damage from that. And I'm going to chuck a trip attack in, so he has to do a saving throw or fall prone.
Strength saving or dexterity or strength?
Strength
saving throw. Okay. 19.
Oh, that saves. But he still takes another D8 of damage.
Okay. Damn, you're a monster.
Plus the booming blade for 9 more damage.
Jeez. Yeah, he's definitely looking fairly hurt at this point.
And that's it. That was my bonus action attack. I just had my turn looking next to Pius, looking at Marco.
How does Marco look? Because he's still smiling like he doesn't give a shit.
I mean, he definitely looks a little bit more worried now than he was before. I go with that unless you want to like take the time to investigate his, whatever. Okay, so he is there. What is he going to do? I think he is less interested in killing Hendrix right now versus his desire to just leave the situation. So he is going to, as a bonus action, he's going to disengage from Hendrix, and he is going to then dash 120 feet.
Makes another 10 damage from booming blade.
Cool, yeah. And he like dashes like clear across the pathway and like ducks into one of the buildings across the way, and he's just like a blur in the wind pretty much as he darts out of there. So that is that. Randy, as you approach the Glorious Ascent, this nice large building, you hear a scream, and as you look up, you see a figure in a dress falling from the top, from the 4th story, falling out of a window and like flailing her hands in the air as she's falling. Okay.
And I'll guide her down for me.
Give me a perception check. Anyone who would actually be like looking towards the Glorious Ascent, which is probably just Randy, because everyone else seems to be focused on the fight.
Dirty 20.
19.
So you see a golden armored individual standing in the door, like in the window frame, like looking down and snarling. Face looks very much like Lucius's behind the mask that it wears. And like standing there, taking time to like watch as the feather fall happens. And as slowly descending from 4 stories up, I mean, it takes a little while, you see a dark-haired figure in a dress. You also see a like blood stain that seems to be like going through her body as she's falling.
I will cast Healing Word from distance.
Okay.
On her. That's going to give 7 points of healing.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh no, it's actually more. Sorry, it is in fact, because I'm having to do it at a higher level. There's 10 points of healing. Oof. And that's all of them. Okay. Cool. Half cast the pain.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, she realizes she's not falling, and she kind of like settles down, like looking down in kind of a mixture of fear and relief as she realizes that like she's not going to fall to her death. The figure in golden armor up front will kind of lean over, look out, and then step back and dart into the building.
So this is the lady we've been looking for, right?
Yeah.
Lucius would go over there and grab her and just tell Randall we need to go.
She seems super scared as she sees you come towards her. Don't. I didn't do nothing. No.
Listen, we're here to rescue you. Just come with us and we can talk. But right now there's too many people here. Okay, I'll do a persuasion or something if you want me to.
You can roll at disadvantage. This is going to be a very tough roll, given the figure that just threw her out of the window.
7.
Yeah, she's.
Bardic Inspiration.
Oh yeah.
She's shouting out like, "Guards! Someone save me! This man threw me out of a window!"
Yep, but I saved you.
With the Bardic Inspiration, it's a 20.
Okay.
The Bardic Inspiration is another D6.
I thought you had like a thing where it lets you re-roll.
Well, that's him re-roll things.
Oh, yeah, no, you're absolutely right, because I have my...
Yeah, so yeah.
Yep.
So that's a 20, 30, 20.
You roll for Bardic Inspiration, you roll a D6 and add that to your 7.
Okay, well, I might as well add that too since this bitch is afraid of me, so...
Yeah.
That's 23.
Okay. She does seem to start to calm down as she starts to like relax a little bit and realize that
if I see her relax, I'll put her down. I'll be like, okay, just follow us. We'll talk, but you're in danger. We're in danger.
Okay. She still a little reluctantly, but she starts following you because she doesn't see a better alternative at this point.
We can't talk. We need to go. Hendrix! Miles!
What are the two of you up to as this figure darted away and like disappeared?
Run, dash, 50 feet.
Okay. He still would have gained 80 feet or so past you.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're still charging after. Hendrix, what are you up to?
Like that, I start to go off the path, but then hear my name shouted. I'm like, fuck, Pios. And I'll start heading back, trying to meet up back with the group, sheathing my sword and almost in a strop. I'll actually don that black cloak I nabbed from the last person's house.
Sounds good.
Put it over me.
Sounds good.
What
Pios?
about that?
Probably realizing that I'm not going to be able to catch up with him, and since Hendrix is breaking off from me, I stop the chase.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Lucius. I didn't mean to.
I'm gonna take off that giant hood that I have that I took from the Minotaur guy, and I'm gonna put it on her.
Okay.
And just keep walking.
Sounds good. Yeah, there's some guards that seem to be like trying to gather. They're like questioning people as like the crowds have kind of like dispersed and but you guys are able to kind of like guide her. Are you guys going down an alley, or are you guys going? Where are you guys headed?
Get back to the ship.
I don't.
Or do we want to go to like a cheap motel, hotel, whatever, or tavern, whatever?
A different tavern. Spend the night there. I don't think we necessarily need to head back to the ship immediately.
We
right?
should definitely put some distance from this place, though.
Agreed.
That's me.
Maybe.
Yeah. That was my computer. I see the look that Dave's making. Like, what is that? What is
I know.
No, I mean, let's talk about it on our way. But Lucius, I think if we head back to the ship right now, we're going to have too many eyes on us. We're not going to be able to get back onto the land. Hit the tavern. Let's get a couple.
Maybe a night above the stars.
Well, let's go to a decent tavern, but not a shitty one, because they might look for us in shitty ones, because usually that's where most people go.
We could camp out tonight.
You want to camp out?
Just at least we'll know who's following us when they catch up.
Rather than have someone knock on the door and we don't know if it's room service or alive.
It'll be
Jesus.
on our terms.
You think so much darker than me, man. Yeah, okay. Hiles, can you find us a place to stay?
I can.
All right.
I'm sorry, guys. I thought I had an idea, and I didn't have an idea. I'm not used to this. I'm not good at this. I'm been bluffing.
Don't worry about it.
I love it all.
Shit happens.
All right.
I've got a huge gash across my chest at this moment.
Yeah, you're probably bleeding pretty well.
Oh, healing word, you.
Ow! Oh, why do I keep?
After about a minute, the eye, like, your skin forms over it, and your eye, like, disappears, and no longer.
Oh! What is going on?
Pios, a survival check to get kind of your bearings, and we'll just do one.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and use my
your skills.
my special ability here.
Yep.
Because the first roll was a 12.
No problem.
Oh my god, seriously, D&D Beyond. Rolled the exact same thing.
Well, there you go. 12. 12's not bad. I mean, basically, you needed to get a bearing out of the city from where you are, which you can do. You're skilled enough at that. You find a spot a little bit off the main road outside of the city, sort of to the southwest of the city itself. You find a few rocks there. You're not super happy with it, but there's palm trees and rocks. There's not like a lot of overgrowth. There's not a lot of stuff to work with. Luckily, it is warm. There's as the evening starts to form, I mean, still fairly early, like you're still afternoon. It's warm. You find a little bit of shade from the sun, but it's nice enough weather. You're not too worried. And you think where you are at least protects you from cursory glances from the roads and such.
Okay.
And for where you are, that's, I think, fine for now. If you guys choose to relocate later, that's something we'll work with later. All right, so you guys are able to work your way out of the town city. You've made your way through, and it seems like despite the ruckus, you were able to act quick enough, and there was confusion being that, people are darting in different directions and people are falling from buildings. You managed to get to this little hideaway spot the Payos picked up for you, and there you have Lucia kind of hanging out there with you guys. She's still has a stain on her dress, but she seems to be fairly healthy now that she's been healed. And she's just kind of shaking a little bit from fear, and she's staring at Lucius like something's weird.
Yeah, I would mention something. You said I attacked you. That makes no sense. I've been with this guy the whole time looking for you.
I don't know. It looked exactly like you. Everything looked exactly like you.
Who are you
Very
with?
weird. I don't think I have a twin.
Then I don't know, but
Maybe they were dressed the same. Maybe it's from one of your.
I mean,
one
the
of your
eyes,
balls.
everything, exactly. The beard, the eyes.
When was he with you?
This one points at Lucius.
Yeah.
just showed up a few minutes ago. Said they had something for me and that, asked to come in. And so I let him in. And then he stabbed me and threw me out the window. Which I guess was good because otherwise I would have just died in the room without anyone helping.
Sure. That woman who was with Marco, she didn't go into the hotel, did she? She went a different way.
Yeah, if you had wanted to pay attention, I mean, Hendrix would have seen her exit, if nothing else. She headed, kind of to the... she crossed the courtyard there, heading south, away from the building.
Okay. Well, and we headed west out of the city?
You ended up heading southwest. She headed more straight south from the square that you guys were in.
Okay. I asked her, who were you there with?
No one. I came alone on the ship, and I had this room that I checked into, and I was waiting.
Insight with advantage, as I know that she's lying.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, insight, and I'll give you more depending. I'll give you advantage because that's fine because you're definitely on the look. Plus, I think everyone else is generally helping you try to figure this out.
14.
I'll give you guidance. My bad. I was typing.
Oh, yeah, guidance in there as well.
D4.
Oh shit! I had that bardic inspiration.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had that.
Oh well. That's okay.
18.
What was it? I missed the final number. 18.
Total.
So she is withholding some information.
Yeah.
So far, nothing she said has come out as a blatant lie.
Yeah.
So it does seem to you, at least in her words, she came here by herself and she was waiting in her room. She seems like she's holding back something, which you knew.
I'm not going to push her on that, though. Not on this night.
Yeah. Where'd you guys come from? I mean, you seem to know something or whatever. What caused you to help? What? I don't know. I'm flustered. I'm sorry.
What do you mean, know something?
I don't know. You were out there doing something. I saw, this one over here is bloody, gesturing towards Hendrix, and I don't know. It was weird, and I was running. You're falling, and you saved me, but then you guided me out like you cared, like there was something more you were running from, or something you were keeping me from. I don't know. I don't normally get, attacked and almost killed. This isn't normal for me.
No, I imagine it wouldn't be. I mean, a woman of your means who's able to go on a trip on a ship, you be able to go on a holiday. Well, you must have never experienced any kind of hardship in the world.
I've had my share of hardships, and I get it. But something. You knew I came on a ship and that I'm here on holiday. I'm not a local. I'm not a,
You're not a
resident. So what is it? Why were you looking for me? Why am I here?
I want you to tell me why you're here. And I want you to tell me, and I want to know that when you tell me, it is the truth. Because what you've said to me so far is half right. And I'm patient. And I can continue to be patient. And we're ultimately, I think, on the same side. But I need you to be honest with me.
Give me a persuasion check.
I'd rather. Could I do it as a performance? Your side, man.
Yeah, no, I think this is definitely a persuasion. This is definitely her, Like, she is not going to willingly give you everything.
Alright, is that with guidance, yeah?
Yeah, it's D4.
Okay. Total Versa of 21.
She sighs, and looks around at all of you. Well, you guys did save me, and I don't know what I'm in. I don't know what happened. This wasn't supposed to be like this. I'm here. I got a vacation. I got offered a vacation here. I didn't expect anything crazy to happen. I thought it was weird, but someone came and offered me a trip, and it was honestly, it was some courier came with an envelope, said, like, I had an uncle that died and left some money here at this island and had booked a room and passage for me, and that I was supposed to go there, and that his executor would deliver the deed to his estate somewhere out here and the money. And so I came. It's silly, but even if that wasn't true, at least I had a ship passage here and a room booked here and a little bit of spending coin. I figured, what's the worst that happens? I come over here and then I end up, working here instead. I mean, I've always wanted to take a ship. I've never been.
No, sure, they're very fun. Everyone likes going on a ship.
Yes.
As this is happening, I'm patching myself up in the background. And I overhear the story, and I just ask her, "What about your life back home? Like,
what?
You got a job or
life? Yeah, but I'm a maid to some rich senator who, honestly, is a little creepy, and I'm tired of him trying to touch me, and I'm kind of over being there. So here I am. I had a chance. I stayed with a friend by the docks. Then I jumped on a ship in the morning and I came here.
Guess you didn't heard the wonderful news about your boss, huh?
What news? Did he win whatever thing he had at the Senate? Or is he, I don't know, moved on, finally took a wife?
I would definitely want to insight this to see.
Yeah, for sure. Roll insight.
I'm watching out. Movements, anything.
Well,
perception. You don't detect any lies in what she's saying.
I
22.
want to ask, when you went on the ship, you said you went with a friend or you went by yourself?
No, I had a friend down by the docks. I stayed there. I said goodbye, and then in the morning, I got on the boat and came out. I said, screw it. If I'm going to make money, I'm not going to go to work. So I skipped work.
And you went on the boat, and you're on... What's the name of it?
I took the Rashad.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Just quickly cast message to Randall and went, if she stayed with a friend, how did she do the evening shift?
No, I hear you.
Peos, you spot some travelers along the road. And I mean, it's still afternoon, so there's several. There's some wagons of merchants coming in and out. But no, it doesn't appear that anyone's looking for you guys or venturing off the road, really. They're traveling from there towards you see mountains in the south that and starts to get more forested as it goes out that way. Yeah.
Okay.
On the boat, you were not the only passenger, right?
No, there was a few others, yeah.
You want to describe them to me real quick?
There's some like dapper man who thought he was God's gift to women. Dark hair, always wore like really expensive, fancy things. He came with some girl, a blonde, light skin. She wore nice things too. There was the fatter guy that I don't know. I talked to him a little bit at one of the breakfasts, but he kind of smelt and wanted to take me to dinner or something, but kind of passed on that. Yeah, he had with him some servants and stuff. I honestly spent more time talking to them than any of those other stuck-up bastards.
Did you find out at all where those stuck-up bastards were staying?
I mean, the big one was going to the King's Rest, and I didn't really talk to the guy that much, who was all like, "Oh, I am Mr. Suave," and wanting to date everybody, even though he came with a woman. I thought it was really creepy. Yeah, sorry. The others, I mean, they were gonna, stay nearby their master's place. The servants were gonna go. There's some small tavern nearby there, I think, that they were gonna stay at, but I don't know.
The girl? The blonde girl?
Yeah. I didn't talk to her. She was usually with the guy or kind of keeping to herself. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't think anything was going to happen. I was enjoying being on a ship. I was enjoying talking with other people like me and not dealing with those stuck-up people, and thinking about what I'd do with money. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, what's the worst that happened? If I didn't get money, then I was here in Idurus and on Ninias. And
okay, what's your name?
Lucia.
Lucia.
Yeah.
My name is Randall.
Thank you for saving me. I'm a little flustered. I know it's strange.
Listen, you were thrown out of a window after a giant man stabbed you through the chest.
Yeah.
I would
look
busted.
Just like that guy. This is really weird. What? He obviously can't be the one because he was down and I was up. But why did someone that looked like him try to kill me?
Yeah. Well, we have ideas, but you don't have to worry about that. This guy here, this is Lucius.
Yeah.
When you tell Lucius something, I want you to whisper in his ear right now. One thing that only he will hear. Next time that you see him, you can ask him a question, and he will tell you that one thing, and you will know that he is a good man.
Okay. Just like a word or
whatever you want. And you can do the same thing for each one of us.
Why don't I just give you all the word and then...
Sure. That's fine, but I want you to whisper it very quietly. I'd like to roll a perception check real quick and stare into the ethereal plane in no way that I actually can.
Yeah. Roll it up.
Yeah. So we go. 7.
She kind of looks around and glances down at a ring that's on her finger, and she whispers, "Ruby."
Okay. You ask a question. If we don't answer immediately with the word, run.
Thank you, guys. I wish I had anything to give you to pay you for this, but I'm assuming that whatever this was, whatever reason, I mean, you said something about my master, about Senator Costas.
He'll. I'm sure he'll pay us when we return with your safe return.
He sent you after me?
I guess.
That seems really odd. I mean, why would he care? Just because I didn't show up to work one night?
What can I tell you, Lucia? You just had a guy who looked like another guy, stabbed you to her chest and tore off a balcony.
That is true, which is...
The senator that you work for was concerned about you enough to actually have you come back.
See, now you're lying to me, and this is all very weird, and it's very hard for me to come to grips with what's going on, and you guys saved me, so I want to trust you, but I wish I knew what was going on. I don't want to be...
Senator's dead, and you were the person they thought killed him. That's why we're here.
He's dead? He's dead? Wait, why would you think I killed him? I wasn't even there that night.
You were the last person that they saw working with him. So apparently
someone did your shift.
Your double did it, just like my double attacked you, which makes no fucking sense.
So freaking weird.
Well, I mean, we live in a world filled with magic, so it's not beyond the ken that someone has the ability to transform themselves to look like you.
I mean, I suppose who would go through... I don't know. Who would go through that trouble? And, I mean, magic users, I don't think it would be cheap. I mean...
Yeah. No, you're right. A lot about this does reek of money. Like, a lot of money.
The best thing we can do is keep you safe and figure out what the hell's going on.
So, we're not going to go straight back home, you said. But we're going to put you someplace.
Alright.
Hey Bill, would any of my lodge guys be in this island or no?
No, your lodge is very specific in their purview, and that is the defense of Tassos, of the king of that particular island, and yeah.
So there's no way for us to send a message back to the capital?
I mean, not directly that way, unless you want to go into one of the cities and try to pay someone to do that sort of thing.
Can we spend the night here?
Yeah.
Not here. We need to move
Oh, yeah? Okay.
to a more secure location.
Piles, if you say we need to move and we're outside, I'm going to listen to you, man. I've seen you literally make a squirrel kebab in the morning inside the Central Park. You are the guy.
That way we can settle down near fire as well. So yeah, I'm going to go look for a better spot.
Okay.
Everyone's stay here.
Oh, you're going to go off on your own?
Yeah, I'm going to go off on my own.
Okay.
And take my time looking for a spot.
Yeah. I'd say, go ahead and give me a roll. Like, you're going to succeed. It's just like the amount of time it takes for you to succeed is what I'm going to look at. Because if you're taking your time, eventually you'll get there. It's just, is it, that spot's better, or...
Then head towards west by southwest. I'm just saying.
You said don't head west by southwest, or?
Yeah. Do head west by south.
Yeah.
Maybe if you find a spot by a lake, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, you know?
Indeed. It will help with food and water as well.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
18.
Plus D6.
Oh, yeah, D6.
Get the last of that bardic inspiration with you.
Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 23.
All right. So yeah, with 23, pretty quickly you're able to kind of discern better locations. Now, were you going to head towards?
We'll find a secure location where I can find good food, water, or fresh water, and have a campfire.
Okay.
That's where I'm, without people like going, "Hey, what the hell is that?"
Yeah. So if you head towards like the lake, that would be a very populated like resort area. But you're able to, if you want, you can head up. Head more towards like the mountains and the forests and find like a little area where there's a bit of a stream that runs down towards the big lake where everyone relaxes. That's far enough away from people that you can kind of dip out and find some cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Pios would do.
Okay. Sounds Sounds good. Yeah, you're able to make your way there, start setting up camp. It doesn't take you long to find it, or to at least identify it and get the rest of the group and head back. And
are we on the poor side of the Ozark right now?
Yeah, I mean, so you're out on that, like, once you kind of get out of the city, there's the lake area, which is like kind of the really resorty area. The city's like tourist trap resorty area, and then like there's mansions and other resorts by the lake, and then there's large stretch of land that kind of goes between there up into the hills and the mountains and the forests and all that. So yeah, you're getting to the less, like, this is probably where a lot of the people that work at the resort would have like settled in small areas along the outstretch. But yeah, you're able to find an open plot of ground area with enough cover that you guys can meet your needs. Lucia goes along just still like trying to think through what happened, what could have gone wrong, if she thought of anything, as you guys start making camp for that night. As you start settling down, Lucius, you hear in your head, Lucius, Nassos is an idiot. Gave a collar to Crow. Has no idea what they meddle in. Do not wear that collar, no matter what.
What collar?
But he said, Lucius, Nassos is an idiot. Gave a collar to Crow. Has no idea what they meddle in. Do not wear that collar, no matter what.
I'll make sure to go to Randall and whisper that to his ear.
You also get the sense that you could respond if you wanted to the magical sending of a voice that you would also be familiar with, being that of your magical friend and ally, Sigranus.
I gotcha. I will reply, all right, well, if I see a collar, I'll make sure to take it off of him. But at the moment, we're not near him. We're dealing with the mayor thing.
Okay.
But I have enough words to pretty much like tell him that we found the person that
you said
was
25
suspected.
Yeah, you used your words. Like, you could keep talking, but then it doesn't get sent back.
I got you. Shit.
Literally, what you said was, okay, that sounds great, but this is what we're gonna do, because right now we're now dealing with that was your 25. Literally, that was it.
Yeah,
well, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's all right. You aren't as familiar with that sort of spell.
Ending is a beast.
Yeah, he would be like, fuck. But he'll let Randall know about this collar thing.
All right.
Okay.
And with that, as
demonic.
You guys settle in for the evening, we're going to call it for tonight as we get to our point in the night that we normally stop. And I know for some of our UK friends, it's getting late. So thank you, all of you guys, for joining me, players. Thank you, all of our watchers. We have new ones, I guess, and some old ones returning. So we appreciate you joining us for this fun. And if you enjoy the XP Guild, we'd love to see you again. We'd love to see you tonight in, oh my god, what is that, 4 hours?
Princess of Apocalypse.
Yeah, 4 hours, Princess of the Apocalypse. Our friend Red King GM Rory is our dungeon master through that Princess of the Apocalypse session. Dave and I will be playing in, and sadly Jose has to go to work because he's no longer in that until he can get off of work. So thank you, everyone, and good night.
Good night.